Okay, so we're going to try this again. Hey everyone, RJ here. You know who I am. And I started a stream up earlier and I left it untitled or unlisted. That's it. So, haven't been live in a little while, so I figured, you know, might as well go live for a little bit here. And hopefully, I am live. Hopefully, notifications will go out because we know how notifications are and we know how YouTube is and everything. And this is my second attempt at a live stream. And I apologize if the stream is not the clearest in the world. I don't have a whole lot of light. And I also do not, I'm on a Pixel 4a. So I'm on an old Pixel, costs 3.5 millimeter. And also, let me know how the audio is. I want to make sure that the audio is coming through the phone or through the microphone on the headset and not the phone. So let me go ahead and click on my live stream here. Since I have my glasses off and everything, and I can't see nothing past about a couple of foot. So, and I tried to bring the tripod in closer, but like I said, when you got to use 3.5 millimeter, not many phones have 3.5 millimeter anymore. Pixel 4a, I have the Zenfone 9. Zenfone 9 though really doesn't have, in lower light, it's probably worse than this. So we got Loot Tech Gaming. Hey, how's it going? What's up, Everything Tech? Uh, what's up, the Tech Preacher? What's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for joining. Matt's Tech, how's it going? I'm the Pixel 6 Pro. Everything works great. Awesome, awesome. What's up, Sean? What's up, Jesse? So, hey everyone, tuning in on this Saturday evening. I know this is my second attempt at it. I started the whole live stream up earlier and realized that I had it on unlisted, so I had to do everything over again. I knew I was going to forget. But yeah, let me know. Video quality is excellent and the sound quality is excellent. Okay. Yeah, sometimes these gaming headsets, when you plug them in 3.5, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And yeah, I could have used Bluetooth, but sometimes Bluetooth don't sound the greatest. You get cutouts and fade outs and stuff like that. So I decided that I would break out this headset here that I haven't quite used, or I don't really review headsets on my channel that much. If they're sent to me, I review them and stuff like that. But these here I just bought and little while back, and so yeah. But anyway, that's beside the point. Everything takes a smash that like button or hit the like button. Yes, please, like button. We will appreciate it. Um, but yeah, I really didn't figure that the video quality would be the greatest stuff. I had my ring light in here, which I'm not able to bring in the ring light. Um, Plus, I don't, this is just my normal tripod that I do videos on. It's half broke, and it's slick, and it's on a hardwood floor. So I had to kind of, I'm just having to make sure that it's not gonna do anything weird. You know what I'm saying? So I decided. Also, share this out if you want to. Let's get as many people in here as we can. It's been a long time since I've been live in the evening time. I know it's Saturday, and I know people got lives and things to do and stuff like that. So thanks everyone for joining in. Um, so let's go ahead and pull up the chat here again. I say chat filter all messages. There we go. So JR says video quality is excellent and sound quality is excellent as well. Yeah, to me the video quality ain't the greatest in the world, but the sound quality should be really good because these Black Shark V2s do have very good audio quality. Um, that's why see I don't stream on YouTube as much anymore. I'm on Twitch or Kick now for gaming because the navigations on YouTube has been nothing but dog crap. Yeah, I'm on Twitch as well. I don't stream on there very often, and if I do stream, it's like middle of the night, like 4 a.m. So I usually like one viewer. So yeah. What's up, Shay Kennedy? How you doing? Long time no talk to a lot of y'all. So thanks for joining in here on this Saturday evening. So I really don't have anything specifically to discuss tonight. I just want to go live and talk to y'all some. It's been a little while, like I said, and so I wanted to just jump on, you know, and say hey. And if anybody had any questions about anything, or wanted to ask me anything, or just general chat about whatever, it ain't got to be about technology. Everything ain't got to be built. Everything ain't got to be about technology. Which is kind of a good thing. Um, I feel like technology is kind of getting a little played out. Honestly, in my personal opinion, um, the tech space is just kind of boring right now. That's just what I think. Um, you know, Views are really, really low on a lot of people's channel right now, especially the tech channels. I mean, those with 100,000, even a million subscribers, a lot of times their views are like 10%, So it's pretty bad right now if in the tech community for as far as views go. Um, so yeah. Anyway, man, I'm having a hard time even seeing. I'm having a hard time even seeing this screen on my S22 Ultra here. This big screen here. Um, so yeah. Anyway, so uh, little out of the loop because I haven't been live in so long, really, and used to like I remember back in the days of late night live streaming. It was always soon as you jump in, boom, it was like questions began to come in, and it was just wide open. Um, Maybe I should try some LED strings in the background. Yeah, I mean, if this was my place and if this was, my living room, I guess you would say, then I probably would have stuff like it. Which actually, I would love to have like an office space to be able to have all that kind of cool stuff. But I simply don't. And a lot of that's my fault. But yeah, and also Gene G Jr., how's it going? I think I missed you a while ago whenever I was trying to get everything situated there. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else. So yeah, um, I mean we can discuss older flagship phones. I know I've been watching a lot of the Easy there on his channel about the LG G8s and some of the older phones. A lot of really good points making about these older phones that are being overlooked. Um, some of them, even though they don't get updates anymore, a lot of them work better and still perform better than a lot of mid-rangers today and a lot of budget phones today. And you can get them for really good prices. And because I have an LG G8X, LG V50, um, and Galaxy S9, Galaxy S7, Galaxy S2. you know, a lot of these older phones that I still now Galaxy S2 is useless. It's not, yeah. But so yeah, I'm just here tonight just to answer any questions that anybody may have concerning anything. Whatever I can do to try to, I know a lot of times I get a lot of comments, and I know a lot of those comments are from non-subscribers, so they won't ever see a live stream because they won't subscribe. And if they do subscribe, they won't click the bell, so they won't get notified. Which YouTube and notification bells are kind of like a enemy. But so yeah, I get a lot of questions, and a lot of times live streams is where it's good to come in and ask those questions because sometimes comments slip by. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I might get a notification that I get, a comment. If I'm busy, if I'm doing something, a lot of times you forget about it. And a lot of times you just kind of forget about it. You'll see a comment like 3 months ago, and like, oh crap, I was going to respond to that comment 3 months ago and never did. Um, so that's kind of why I like doing these live streams. And if all these, and if everybody that has questions to ask and leaves comments about things, if they would just subscribe, you know, I mean, right now, I have reached, in the last 28 days, I have reached my lowest subscriber gain in probably nearly 10 years. I'm sitting at like 90 subscribers in the last 28 days, which is the lowest it's been in probably 10 years. Maybe not quite 10 years, but yes, it's been uh, it's been a roller coaster. Well, actually, it's just kind of been a downhill roller coaster right now. But it makes you kind of wonder how long this channel will actually be here, because the way things are just in a downward spiral, and I think that a lot of people are actually seeing the pinch too. Um, you know, things are getting more expensive, views are getting less, revenues getting lower, um, but prices are getting higher, and it's just unless you're already established or you have like millions of subscribers, it's really hard to maintain that and maintain the viewership. So, I've been saying for the past couple of years now that this channel might be leaving and, might be going. But really, when it's all you really have, then you got to kind of keep it going, I know it makes no sense. I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a rant there. Not really a rant, just kind of giving you some truth. Just trying to be real with everybody. Um, how a lot of times my videos might seem very generic, very monotone. It's because when you're not seeing the results of what you're trying to put into a video and all of the long hours it takes to do this, that, and the other, and you see that a video plateaus at a certain number, and it's like it reaches. I guess that's the right word to use. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing out words. Redneck trying to throw out words that really don't know any don't know what it means. But anyway, when it gets like a certain number, um, and it stops, that's kind of it's like that's kind of how it's been like the past 6 months on every video of mine. It's like it gets to like one point, like you know, I put it on Twitter, like around 250 views, and it's like that the video just dies. Um, and yeah, and when that happens, your channel dies. What's up, Mr. Mario? We're having a good day. I hope I was too. If I have to be real, I mean, it's kind of good sometimes to have these live streams where you just kind of let things out in the open. And if anybody has any questions about anything regarding, how channels are going or how stuff is going, it's good to answer a lot of the questions that, uh, and anybody else, any other YouTubers who come in here who, you know, realize the struggle and see how difficult it is now, especially nowadays. Um, I hear it humming. I'm not really sure why I hear it humming. But yeah, just to come in here and also kind of vent their frustrations. Um, but I'm the one no doing it out loud. And I guess people don't want to hear about this because I've done like half my viewership in the last 2 minutes. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just like you don't know what to say. I mean, I used to always know what to say. I used to always know where to start and where to begin. Um, but it's like nowadays it's just trying to get back into it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hope you checked out the unboxing of the OnePlus Nord N30. This is a really solid phone, and the deal, I mean, especially if you're looking for a new carrier, this phone is so cheap. I mean, this phone's like $300, and if you are looking for like a new number with a new carrier, for what you get this phone for right now and for what you're getting in the phone is an amazing price. I mean, $20 for a phone that costs 300. You can get it for $20 plus the plan for like 40. That's like dang, you know. Which to me, Metro has the best deals. Metro has the best deals for port ins. They have the best deals for new numbers. I mean, even like the Pixel 6a right now, if I ain't mistaken, is like what free with a port in, and it's probably very cheap for a new number as well. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate T-Mobile don't have service anywhere, especially if you live in a rural area like me. So yeah, um, when it comes to live streams, basically, I always answer questions that anybody has about anything. Um, so that's basically what I want to do right here as well. Let the comments come through. Any questions about anything? I want to answer them. I want to try to answer them the best I can. That's kind of why I go live. And it can be about anything. It ain't like I said. It ain't gotta always be about technology or cell phones or stuff like that. Because I mean that gets a little boring at times. I don't mind answering tech questions because that's what I do on the majority of the time is technology stuff. Um, I would love to branch out into other things because there's more things that I like discussing more than just technology stuff. Um, but I've been doing this for so long that I think that branching out into something different, other than something like gaming, because I'm into gaming a lot as well. And unfortunately, Microsoft with their Xboxes do not let you stream to YouTube directly from the Xbox, which sucks because that would be so freaking awesome. 'Cause there's a lot of games that I really would like to live stream, um, and I just don't like PlayStation. I just don't. So I mean, now PlayStation used to be like the deal for me. I was always a PS fan until I got an Xbox, and then that all changed. So how goes it, man? Got my. This ain't that ain't your normal YouTube channel, man. You normally have your gaming channel you sign into. But hey, it's all good. Yes, I love Metro. I got the Pixel 6a for free. You can't beat that. But I got a bit of a problem with Pixel. Something that Pixel really needs to fix. But I'll get to that here in just a moment. Yeah, yeah, I know. You ought to log in with that one. That way, yeah. Anyway, do what you want to, homie. Um, Good to see you streaming. Yeah, I miss doing it. I don't always get a chance to right now. You know, it was a good time to do it. So, what's up, Stoner Crazy Clips? Like in the headset. Yeah, these are my Black Shark V2s from Razer, and these things are like clouds on your ears, and the quality is just fantastic. And I got these for like $50 on like an Amazon deal. They're wired. This big old knob here, that's the volume, but that's just the volume knob. Yeah, Takeover special edition model. I was going to use my HyperX Cloud 3s. I'm a big HyperX fan when it comes to headsets. But when I tested out the quality of microphones, the HyperX sounded better, but it sounded quieter because it's got more of a mesh pop filter built inside of microphone. So if I was to take off this right now I got a pop filter on this phone, or on this phone, on this headset. If I pulled the pop filter off, you would hear the AC noise, you hear the fan noise beside me. If I had the other headset with it was just the microphone by itself, the fan you never hear it, the air you never hear it because it's just cuts out that much. So how's it going there, Dwight? Um, any reviews on Cricket? I will never promote Cricket on my channel. I will never promote AT&T as a company. I have Boost Mobile using AT&T. That's the only thing that I will promote. But AT&T and Cricket, I will never promote those scam companies. And though this might piss people off, and that's fine if it does. But I will never promote those scam companies ever on my channel. Um, so I wouldn't know nothing about Cricket because Cricket, I got my feeling now. I will say, if you want to know my real thoughts about Cricket, I will explain it in this video and why I will not promote them ever again. If you want to hear about it, I will explain it. It might take a few minutes, but I will explain it. But if you don't want to hear about it, then of course I'll keep my mouth shut. So let me know, and then we'll go from there. You're in the game in no way, LOL. No, not in the gaming. And see, it would be so good if Xbox, man, lets you stream to YouTube. That's what I'm talking about, cause you know, uh, you should start a channel, a shaving channel. Nah, I don't. No, I am not into none of that Harry Potter mess, witchcraft garbage. I'm sorry, I'm just not into that stuff. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, Xbox is a lot better. Xbox is the deal. Like I said, PlayStation used to. I used to be a big PlayStation fan. The first one, second one was the best. Second one was the best ever. That's the best console ever, in my opinion. The three was good, but then I got an Xbox One, and then I never looked back. The only thing is, I wish that they would allow you to stream directly to YouTube, like you can stream directly to Twitch. Does AT&T work better in your area now, or it works a bit better now? Um, well, I mean, it's been working fine for a while. I've been on Boost Mobile for a year on AT&T, and T, and it's worked fantastic. My speeds vary. I'm only in LTE. My speeds range from out here in the sticks. My speeds range from 20 download to 120 download. It just depends on which way the air is blowing. Depends on how dry the air is, how much wind's blowing, whatever. I'm not sure what I'm not sure how you go by that and everything. But yeah, so I like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, computer. I like them all. I'm not a computer. I'm not a PC fan. I'm not a PC gaming fan, and likely never will be. I know it's a lot. I know you can do a lot more on PC. You can do about basically anything with like OBS and all that stuff with computer. But I'm just not computer savvy. Honestly, I'm not. I mean, I could tell you whatever you wanted to know about a cell phone. Um, but when it comes to a computer, I am like a moron, I guess you would say. And I really would not. I mean, I could pull up the. I mean, I have a hard time even getting to the file system sometimes, to even find out what kind of processor it's running. Seriously, I mean that's just how bad I am at computers and PCs. Um, I have the Razer Kraken Ultimate and their USB. Not bad for 60. Yeah, now I have a headset right now that's wireless that I have never loved and hated a headset so much as a Razer. I have the Razer Kara Pros for the Xbox that are wireless. They're so comfortable. They got so many features. They got a dedicated app on the Xbox where you can do equalizer settings, microphone settings. You can do anything on the Xbox with the Razer Kara Pros. The battery life is excellent. Sound quality is just, I mean, oh, RGB lighting. But I've never hated a headset more than the Kara Pros because they will connect and disconnect 10, 15 times in a minute in a span of 1 minute. Disconnect, connect, disconnect, connect, disconnect, connect. Oh my god! And when you're playing in a game, it's like it'll be clear, and then it'll have like a little. It's like the audio kind of cut out some, and you hear like static or like something gurgling, like they're talking, but it sounds like that they're like it just. I'm on my second pair of those headsets. I thought because the first one done the same thing. I thought it was defective, so I returned them or exchanged them and got a new pair, and they done the same thing. I went through all the updates. They're just on the latest firmware, and everybody that I've talked to or seen online says that they have the same problem. And I don't think it's really the headset's fault. I think it's whatever Xbox uses is their um, direct connect or direct pair codec or whatever is trash. Um, cause some headsets were like I got a pair of HyperX Stinger HyperX Stinger something. This is a direct pair with the Xbox, and rarely do they ever even have a hiccup. I have a pair of Corsair wireless direct pair to the Xbox. They've been known to just cut off by themselves. That's not gonna have nothing to do with the Xbox, but there's never no cutouts. Um, I also another thing. I also got a pair of Lucid Sound LS35X, this direct pair, and never a problem. But the Kara Pros, trash. A phenomenal headset, but oh my goodness, the disconnect, connect, disconnect, connect, and then the loss of quality of sound just for no reason. Such a great headset. Shout out to Mr. Carol Ware, man. Thank you for that donation. Super chats are always welcome. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Helps me out right now tremendously. I'm telling you, you don't know. So shout out to Mr. Carol Ware. Um. So anyway, um. So Jose says he wants to know. So I will get to your comment. Well, actually, let me finish the comments that are here right now, and I will explain why I will never recommend Cricket for my channel. Um, uh, Ashley asks, "Is Mint Mobile any good?" I'm hearing a lot of good things about Mint Mobile. Um, they work on T-Mobile. Of course, it's not like fully unlimited data, which nothing really is unless you go for like a post-pay company paying like $100 a month for one line of service, and even then, your service is liable to be just as bad as MVNO. Um, but I've heard good things about Mint Mobile, and I don't use T-Mobile because T-Mobile in my area or Mint Mobile Metro. I'm in a Roman area. They just refuse to put service in rural areas. That's what's so bad about it. But yeah, Mint Mobile, I hear good things, but I've never tried them. So Cricket, here we go with Cricket. I don't entirely blame Cricket for this, but I do to an extent because Cricket used to be a banging carrier. They were. I had Cricket for several years and loved them. But when AT&T, I g- see they've been working on AT&T for a while, but then AT&T bought Cricket or took ownership of Cricket. So a lot of Cricket's problems, I just kind of put on the shoulders of AT&T and T and their dictatorship. And you know, like with Boost Mobile on AT&T network, I pay $25 a month. I get unlimited talk, unlimited text. I get 30 gigabytes of high speed data. And using the Boost One app for the Boost One credits, my last month's bill was $2.01. The month before that, $3.45. Month before that, like $4. Okay, with Cricket, and also the hotspots also included. Now this ain't Boost Infinite. This is just the prepaid my.boostmobile.com. Now my well, that's getting to a whole different thing. I'll explain that later on or during a different video, or whatever. Um, but Cricket, you, you you got to pay like $60 a month, and you're still going to get unlimited, as far as I know. Now I haven't looked up Cricket in a long time, but their phones are a ripoff. For one, they only give you the worst of the worst phones for free, if you're lucky, for free. Well, it's really not free once you pay for the activation fee and the SIM card fee, and them trying to force you to buy cases and screen protectors and walk-in fees and whatever kind of fee they decide to charge you that day. Um, you know, uh, but if you, I will start off with one reason why Cricket would be good is if you want like a family plan and they have like a good family plan, you can get really good data. And if you go into Cricket and you decide to buy four or five, or if you want a solo line on Cricket and you decide to buy a Cricket phone and you keep that phone till you upgrade or whatever, you should not have like a problem with Cricket. My problem is if you want to bring your own phone because they're like a dictatorship over there at AT&T or Cricket. Okay, if they do not like the phone that you are bringing over, or let's just say you get a free phone from Cricket and you hate it, but let's say you have a phone that they don't approve of, you stick your SIM card in that phone, more than likely they're going to suspend your service. It's just going to stop working. And then you got to call in, and then they're going to charge you a fee to reconnect your service. Now, this is what I've heard from actual customers that's actually had this happen to them. So I'm not just blowing hot air here. I'm going by what people have actually told me whenever I have actually brought this up. AT&T is the same way. Now, um, I know a lot of y'all know Flossie Carter. But actually, probably all y'all know Flossie Carter. A lot of phones he gets from overseas, over in China, and he tries to put them on his AT&T line, and they're like, no, we're not going to do it. But he has a workaround to where it's like, well, you do it or I'm out of here or whatever. So they can add it if they want to. They just choose not to. They want you to buy their stuff. Now, if you got like an iPhone or a Samsung or something like that, most of the time they're not gonna have a problem with it. But for the majority of people that I've talked to, a lot of phones that you like, whenever I had Cricket, I could put my SIM card into any unlocked phone I wanted to without a hiccup, without a problem. But like I said, they became a dictatorship over there, AT&T and Cricket. I think that if Cricket was back on its own again, it wouldn't have that kind of problem, which they may. I don't know. They may like it. But that's one of the main reasons why I would probably never recommend Cricket to anybody is because if you happen to get a phone that you like, that you want to use, you slap your SIM card in there, they can just suspend your service, and then you got to pay like 25, $30 just to get it reconnected. Um, but I would say, if you got like a Samsung or an iPhone, a Pixel, probably even a Pixel, you probably won't have a problem. It's going to mainly be those phones that's really not in the U.S. that much, or not really well known in the U.S. It's going to have a problem. But still, I have Boost Mobile on the AT&T network, and I can put my SIM card into any phone that I have, whether it's a Ulefone, a Xiaomi, a Realme, a phone from Redmi. Um, it don't matter what phone it is, it just works, and they don't tell me what I can and can't use. Unlike AT&T and Cricket, and that's why I would never recommend them because of that reason. Now I know everybody is not like tech YouTubers who are constantly putting SIM cards in different phones. If you have one phone that you like, if you got like a Galaxy S series phone, and you take it to Cricket or take it to AT&T and say, "Hey, this is my unlocked phone. It works on your carrier. I want to use this phone." You should have a problem. There should be no issue. Get on the plan that you want to get on, and your service is going to be good. The service itself is not why I do not recommend them. It's just their policies and the way they want to nickel and dime you to death. That's why, like with Metro, that's why I say, like this phone right here, the OnePlus Nord N30 is $20 with a new line. Well, you can go online right now and buy this phone for $20. You pay $40 for the plan. You can check out for $61, $62. You can get a port in for free, but it's in store only. By the time you go into a Metro store, by the time you pay a SIM card fee, if they charge those, an activation fee, convenience fees, walk in fees, whatever fees they want to charge you, if certain stores want to charge you the tax on the retail price of the phone, instead of the phone being free, you're going to end up having to walking out like $100 being spent on a phone that's supposed to be free when you could have got one online, got a new number, $20, and you're ready to roll. I know everybody don't want to hear that because a lot of people want you to buy in store, but in store you're going to get ripped a new one. It's just the way it is. 13. Hey, RJ, what phone is that in your hand? This is the OnePlus Nord N30, just released last month. I did an unboxing, a thorough unboxing about it. If you want to check it out, it's on my channel. It will be the video before this live stream. Um, Pretty good phone. Also have the OnePlus 11 right here as well, which this is a boss phone, except for the exploding back glass that just exploded for no reason. Yeah, it's still there. You have four lines. You love it. Yeah, I mean, if you've been with Cricket for a long time and you have lines and you like the service and you're paying a good amount of money, then yeah, I don't see a bit of problem. I don't. I mean, I why change? If you like what you have, why change? If it's working for you, why change? You use 75% of your unlimited data plan. What do you mean there, Jesse? Air fee, LOL. Weird Metro by T-Mobile here won't let us. won't let us. You mean you can't? So if you go to Metro by T-Mobile, you look at phones. Oh, that was a joke. Okay. Um. Yeah. Yeah. So if you go to Metro by T-Mobile on your phone and click on phones and like push the Nord N30 and you got like new line pressed. When you scroll down, if they're out of stock, it'll say find in store. And that could be what it's doing because for $20, these phones are flying off the shelf. If they have it in stock, it'll say, add to cart. If it says find in store, it means you're back ordered or out of stock. What's your thoughts on the N30? I think it's a good phone. Would I pay $300 for it unlocked? No, I would not because of the processor, mainly the processor, and the cameras are not really hitting on all eight cylinders really. But you gotta look at the price point. If you buy this phone unlocked for $300, you kind of gotta go and see. Okay, this is something else. I'm used to phones like the OnePlus 11 flagship phone, 8 Gen 2, 16 gigabytes of RAM, the Galaxy S22 Ultra. I'm used to these phones here that are really expensive, really powerful. With a lot of creators, a lot of YouTubers, they want to take a phone like this right here and compare it with this. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? This was like $700. This was $300. They want to compare it with something like this, over $1,000 and 300. You can't compare it like that. You got to take say $300. Well, the Nord N20 from last year run the same processor. The Nord N10 from 2 years ago ran the 690, which honestly 690, 695. There's no difference in performance there really. I still have the Nord N10, and I may do a speed test comparison like I normally do. That ain't never scientific. I just run them for the fun of it. Between the Nord N10 from 2 years ago and the Nord N30. Um, but I would say that if you can get this phone for like 249, 229. I mean, some will say 150 or 199. No, I'm not even going to say that. If they would knock off $50 off the phone, off the unlocked price, 250 all day long, 100% yeah. 8 gigabytes of RAM, storage is 128 gig, got a headphone jack, got an SD card slot, stereo speakers, decent cameras here, nice big full HD display that really, if I'm being honest, is this here don't do it justice or whatever, but looks really good and sharp. And a 5,000 milliamp hour battery with 50-watt fast charging with a charger in the box, then yeah, 250 all day long. This phone, absolutely. But if you can get it, on like in 6 months from now, this phone will unlock. If I keep the service on it or don't keep the service on it, this phone will unlock in 6 months, and I'll be able to use it anywhere. So yeah. Um, I've been looking for a new phone, but I refuse to give up a 3.5 jack and SD card features. Well, if you're wanting to buy one unlocked and you're wanting one with a SD card slot and you're wanting one with a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, probably your best bet is the Nord N30. I don't really know of many phones out there it's going to offer you the headphone jack and SD card slot. I would say the A54 from Samsung, but they got rid of the headphone jack on the A54, which sucks. I know. They kept the SD card slot, but not the headphone jack. Um, the N30, I would say, would be an overall good phone. I really do. Um, there may be other phones out there, and it depends on what carrier that you're on, really, also. Says I need to find local Metro by T-Mobile to me. I need to come into the store to buy. I have tried several phones. Sometimes if they got a big enough sale, it will do that. There's been times before where I went on there and looked at like three or four or five phones, all and they'll all say find in store. That's just because they got a lot of sales going on. What I would look up a phone that they've had for a while. I would look up a phone like, let me see what it says on mine here in a minute. Give me a second. So I'll bring up Metro right now, and I'll see what it says on my end. Because honestly, I'm not really putting in a zip code. I'm just getting on the Metro by T-Mobile website. Okay, so right now here's Metro by T-Mobile, and let's just go ahead and go back to the home screen to refresh everything. Um, okay, so I'm going to push the three dots, phones and devices, and wait for this to load up here. Metro can be a little bit slow at times, so I want to scroll down. Right here shows the Nord N35G. So when I scroll down, it is telling me to add to cart. Um, Need a new number? $20. Regular price $279. Bring your number. It's free, but you gotta be in store. So this is actually, if you can see it on here, this is what it will. Well, that ain't gonna show a dadgum thing. Hang on a second. If you can see that right there, I don't know, but I'm sorry that, but yeah, there's the add to cart button down there. Now, if I go to bring your number, you can't add it to your cart. You got to find the store. Um, and that's on the N30 right now. Um, and I'm not even putting in a zip code. It's just saying add to cart. I mean, if I look at the Pixel 6a right here, right now, it's telling me $50 for a new number, free for bring your number, and it's telling me to add to cart. You know what I'm saying? Uh, let's see if there's any other phones right now that's kind of popular. Um, the Stylus 5G 2022 um, is 319 for a new number. So their promotion's completely gone off of that phone. I got it for free back in December. Um, let's see. Galaxy A23 came out last year. That one's $50 with a new number. A54 is the same price and a lot better phone. Add to cart. So I'm not really sure why yours is saying find in store. Also, you're on T-Mobile. Yeah, I mean Metro, T-Mobile. Yeah, I'm not really sure how that would work out. Like if you was to get a Metro phone and you was to slap your T-Mobile SIM card in there, I doubt it would work. I don't think it would work. I know that used to you couldn't put your SIM like whenever you went to Metro and bought a phone, um, and it's like your SIM card was attached to your IMEI. And if you put your SIM card into any other phone, it would not work. But I have since tested that, and I put my Metro SIM card into a completely unlocked phone, and it worked fine. It wasn't telling me no service. It was just it worked fine. So I'm not sure if they changed that or not or what, but it worked for me. Um, T-Mobile got the N30 for 264. That's not a bad deal, really. It's not. I mean, 264. I would still say I was still. I mean, I still have to draw that line at a flat 250. But I mean, because it's 264 plus taxes, you're looking at you're gonna be looking at around $300. But then again, if you buy it at $300, then you're gonna be looking around 350. So I mean, yeah, that. But the should I get the N20 or N30? Honestly, honestly, unless you just have to have an AMOLED display, the N30 is just a newer phone. Newer phone, it's gonna probably get more updates. Um, the N20 did have AMOLED panel, but I don't think it has stereo speakers, which is more important to me than AMOLED personally. Um, because the screen just looks that dadgum good on this phone. Um, I would go with the N30 over the N20. Home uh, so yeah, T-Mobile does have the N30 also. Yeah, that does. Moto from Cricket Wireless does. LOL. Um, does what? I'm kind of lost there. Kind of lost there. I just don't understand why yours, like I said, Mr. Carraware, why yours is saying that it wants you to buy phones from online. I mean, I can understand if it made you enter a zip code and it wasn't available. Well, if you don't care about AMOLED, then I would definitely go with the N30. Um, I mean, I I would say the A54 or N30. N30 is more powerful. I mean, the A54 is a really good phone, a very solid phone. But if you've seen my video about the A, see, I'm not really sure how many of y'all is even get notified when I release new videos. Um, I done my A54 follow up video the other day, but this person, though, they want a headphone jack and SD card slot. Unfortunately, the A54 got rid of the headphone jack, which was stupid. Um, so I would say in your case, if you don't care about AMOLED, the Norden 35G is solid. I mean, like I say, 50-watt charging, you can go from like what is it, 0 to 80% in 30 minutes. And the charger comes in the box. That is so big. That is huge. I mean, since I never thought I'd ever hear the day when I would say, "Wow, they put a charger in the box," because Google, Apple, Samsung, all those $1,000 phones, and they can't give you a little charging brick in any of their. And yeah, ridiculous. But OnePlus still does. That's kind of like if it's like that's when I said that if they're going to advertise fast charging, prove it by putting a charger in the box. I mean, how much is it going to? I mean, I just got notified. I just missed a lot of. Yeah, I have a feeling that the. I mean, okay, this is what my analytics say. My analytics say that 2,000 notifications are going out on every video. I call bull. Um, it tells me on every video. Look at the analytics. It says 2,000 people have notifications turned on, and that 100% go out. And I'm thinking, well, whenever it's been 3 days and my video is still at 200 views, it's missing a zero. You know what I'm saying? Um, from according to what the analytics are saying, when I release a new video, if everyone, put it in there like watch later or something like that, or clicked on the video right then, if it was on YouTube or whatever, I'd have a whole lot more views than what my videos are showing. So and I even had a long conversation with a chat representative at YouTube, and of course, they have no questions, or I mean, they have no answers. They don't seem to know much of anything, to be honest. At YouTube, um, they're like, well, if you look back at this, I'm like, I'm not talking about years ago. I'm talking about in the past 6 months, where 90% of my videos are sitting at under 500 views in the past 6 months. Whenever it plainly says that 2,000 plus people are notified. I'm like, why get through all the trouble of subscribing and pressing a bell if you ain't gonna come back and watch a video? I mean, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, there's people that I'm not. It's just YouTube has their favorites. We know that, and I get suggestions and notifications from people I ain't even subscribed to because they're huge channels. And the channels I'm subscribed to with the bell pressed, I don't even get notified half the time. So it's just ridiculous. Oh yeah, on the N30, can I turn off 5G? Well, let's just find that out right quick, like right here with the phone's in hand. Let's see. Mobile network, Metro by T-Mobile, preferred network type, 5G on, 5G or LTE, LTE 3G or 2G, LTE 3G or 2G only. So you can turn off 5G compatibility if you don't want it on 5G. Mine's set on 5G on for automatic 5G, LTE, 3G, 2G is what it says here. But if you want it only on LTE, like right here, if you can see it, still a little blurry, but you know, it does have an LTE, 3G, 2G, so you can turn off 5G if you want to. Right now, I'm on Wi-Fi calling because if I turn off Wi-Fi calling, I go to AT&T because this roams off AT&T. So yeah, you can turn off 5G. Um, Unique says, "Good afternoon. I like the red cord. The red cord. The red cord. Oh yeah, yes, the Red Cable Club. Yeah, the red cord. Yeah, I love the red cords. They're so robust and they feel very durable. And I've not had one break on me or you know mess up on me yet. And I have several of them. I have a 4G SIM card. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, even if you got a 4G only SIM card and it says 5G, if it was to come up 5G, you're only going to pop up LTE anyway. So, what's up, Michael West? Yes, a long time, man, a long time. Um, Awesome, yeah. Like I say, the N30. I mean, I love Oxygen OS. I had a big beef with OnePlus with the OnePlus 11. Because I made a video a while back that I was hoping would get traction because others was having the same problem with their OnePlus phone. But the back of my OnePlus 11 just spontaneously shattered at the top and sides. It's hard to see it on camera, um, but you can kind of see it right there. The crack goes from that end where my thumb is all the way around to up here. It just shattered out of nowhere. Um, I had the phone for 6 days and babied the phone, and the back of it just OnePlus could care less about, don't care about their customers as far as that goes. And I wasn't the only one that had that problem. A lot of people in forums were saying that their back glass was just shattering for no reason on the OnePlus 11. But of course, they won't do a thing about it. Now, I have dropped the phone since it's been cracked. It's been in one of these cases. These are the Rugged Shield cases. I got one in this army green, and I have it in dark blue. I have dropped this phone about 3 times on hardwood floors, but the back has not cracked any more than when it first cracked for no reason. Which makes me wonder, again, if the crack would have been caused by me, if I would drop it even in this. Now this case is very protective. It's $8 on on Amazon for this case. But I've dropped it 3 times, and there has been no more shattering, no more spiderwebbing, no nothing. Which, like I said, leads me to believe it was a defect. Anyway, OnePlus loves their red cords. Absolutely. Which that's my favorite color anyway. I mean, I love the color red. So that's why I was wanting to use my other gaming headset because it's a HyperX, which is black and red. Has the red. Uh, well, I got it right here. Actually, yeah, this is my HyperX Cloud threes, and oh, this is a really good headset right here. I love HyperX. Big fan. Wish they would make this particular model in wireless for Xbox. They never will. If they did, it'd be some kind of bland color or be a green or some kind of crap like that. Um, but yeah, this is actually a really good headset right here. And I was going to use it, but the audio is not quite as loud through the microphone, so that's why I didn't use these here. But these here are fantastic. And if you hear something in the background that sounds like it's snoring, it's my dog. My dog gets loud when she snores. So yeah. Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for. That's what my live streams are here for. Is to answer questions. Is to be as much help as I can be. Because a lot of times, like I see, that's why when I make a video, I'm like, if you're not a subscriber, be sure to consider subscribing, clicking that bell for all notifications, because for this reason right here, if all those who ask questions would subscribe and come into a live stream when I do go live, answer and ask their questions, they're going to get answered just like this. Instead of sometimes I just don't get notified when I get comments. I mean, I have been accused of all kinds of stuff before. Excuse me, because I didn't reply to someone's comment, and I've been chewed out for it before. And I'm like, well, I'm so sorry that I'm not on your time clock. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I'm like, I don't always get notifications whenever I get comments. And there's sometimes, I don't sit here like this with my phone in my hand 24 hours a day. Oh, comment. I got a comment back right now. Oh, another comment. You got lives, and so I don't spend every waking moment on my phone. Normally, I spend very little time with phones unless I'm doing. I mean, I use them as a daily. I'll use them. I'll test them. I mean, like this Nord N30 here. I done the unboxing. I need to test out this, that, and the other, and I am doing that. But I'm doing it in my own time. You know, I don't get a phone on Monday and then give a full review on Friday. It's impossible. You can't give a full review in 5 days. I mean, some says they can. I find that hard to believe because honestly, most phones, your battery is not even broke in 5 days. Okay, so a lot of phones. Your phones have to learn your battery usage patterns to find out how good your battery is going to be or how bad it's going to be. And whenever somebody unboxes a phone on a Monday and gives a full review on a Friday, they're not giving you an honest review because basically their battery ain't even broke in good yet. So yeah, that's why sometimes mine takes longer than others. And if that costs me views, it costs me views. I'd rather be honest with people, and I'd rather give somebody an honest review. God, Sorry, y'all. Hang on. Hope this mutes it. But yeah, I'd rather give somebody an honest review and be as honest as I can be, as what I've always aimed this channel to be, than to just throw out a review as fast as I can without really fully testing the phone. Um, I do a follow up most of the time, giving you my likes and dislikes, but you can't really give a review until you've actually, I mean, especially giving a review before the battery's even broken good yet. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know everyone's different, and I'm not saying nothing negative about people, other creators who do that. If they want to rush out a review, hey, good for them. But I'm not going to. I have not used the SD card feature yet. Actually, I don't know where my SD cards are at, cause not the majority of phones I use don't have an SD card slot. I mean, my main daily is visible. Okay, that's my main primary number is visible, that belongs in the OnePlus 11. No SD card slot. This has been my daily phone since I've got the phone. I love the OnePlus 11. I mean, this phone right here. God, I don't know. There's just sometimes there's just phones that you get that you just can't put down as a daily. I mean, this phone right here, one of the best phones I've ever bought, the 22 Ultra. Now, I could really go into a rant with the 22 Ultra, 23 Ultra, and what a lot of people have said about the differences or whatever, but I ain't going down that rabbit hole today. Okay? But I can't use this Samsung every day. I just can't do it. But the OnePlus 11, now on Boost Mobile, that SIM card gets tossed from phone to phone to phone. It'll be in my Asus Zenfone 9 one day. It'll be in my Moto Edge Plus the next day. It'll be in my Nothing Phone 1 the next day. You know what I'm saying? It don't stay in one phone. Now, of course, this for this phone to be unlocked, the SIM card stays in this Metro phone in the N30. But I'm testing it out as well. So yeah. But um, my main phone that I use all the time is the OnePlus 11. Love that phone, and it is probably the best. I don't. People are like, oh, it's not really a flagship phone. Oh, it's not this, that, and the other, whatever. They shouldn't charge it, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, if you had never used it before, just don't. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm at a point right now. I've been on. I got 12 watching. Could have swore I think it was a lot more than that. Oh well, thank y'all for the 12 that are here, and thanks for the 17 that's watching, or 17 likes. So, yeah, I need to double or triple my. Get some people come share this out. Share it out to whatever. Get some people in here to come in here and chat as well. I'm answering questions. Well, don't fall over. Just get comfortable. Okay. Gotta love animals. Gotta love pets. But yeah, you're very welcome, man. You're very welcome. I'm happy to answer your questions. That's what I do these live streams for. Howdy. What's up, Chris? What's up, man? Who are you using for your phone service right now? Visible, Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile is my secondary. Using AT&T network on it. Love it. Been with them for almost a year now, and I pay an average of between $2 and $4 a month for the service. Boost One app. Yeah. With Visible and with Boost, my service is like less than $10 a month for both lines because I do have a lot of promo credits from referrals from Visible. Um, I like the OnePlus 11 and 10, but no 3.5 jack or SD card feature. That's not really a deal breaker for me anymore. It used to be a deal breaker for me, but not so much anymore because I know a lot of the majority of phones, especially high end phones, are going away from all of that stuff because they want you to buy their Bluetooth headsets. So if you got 3.5 millimeter, you're not going to buy their Bluetooth, and they want you to buy their Bluetooth headsets, and they want you to buy the higher storage model of their phone. They offer a 256 or a 512, and they don't want you to buy 128 gig. They want you to buy the top dog, you know, and they want to charge you $200 extra for their top storage model. When you can buy a 512 gigabyte SD card for like $25 at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I know why they're doing it for, but not a whole lot, Chris. Not a whole lot, man. Dude, you was at my Twitch live stream the other morning, Chris, and you just left. I mean, I was like, I was like, dude, you must have just scattered. Your provider is T-Mobile, yeah. What do you think? Well, I'm telling you, they got this heart logo right here. I don't know what this heart here is here for. I have no idea why this heart's here. Um, on the chat thing, I have no idea, and I'm trying to get comfortable because this dog keeps pushing me further and further this way, and you know, a little bitty dog, a little bitty dog, and me, and I get one little edge, and she gets the rest. I can't let go, RJ. I'm old school. Well, I got a feeling that eventually you'll have to, unless you want just a really outdated phone. Because I got a feeling that even these lower end or budget or mid range phones will eventually do away with the headphone jack. I know Samsung with the A54's done away with it. The A53 I think had it, and the A54 they got rid of it. But hey, I feel you. I feel you. That's why I'm using a what 3, 4 year old phone right now to live stream because it's got a headphone jack. Pixel 4a. I could use my Asus Zenfone 9, but I have tried it before in this kind of similar lighting, and while it's okay, it's really grainy. Um, and it also had a worse frame rate, and it didn't record and it recorded at like 720p for some stupid reason. So yeah, that's kind of why I went to the Pixel 4a. Um, so OnePlus Nord N35G sounds good. Yeah, it does. It is. I mean, honestly, I have no complaints with it other than the fact that it is so reflective. This is called chromatic gray, and it's like a mirror. You can just see yourself in it. Okay, and I'm telling you, if there's dust within 100 miles of this phone, it's going to cling to it. Okay, so it's going to find it. It's going to find your phone and going to cling to your phone. And it's a smudge magnet. I got a case that I just bought off of Amazon. Um, that I think is going to slap on here. I'm gonna get it real good and cleaned up. Get the 5 pounds of dust off of it just by sitting here and clean it up real good. Throw a case on there. It's made out of plastic, okay? The frame and the back is made out of plastic. Just watch the unboxing. The unboxing will tell you all that you need to know. Um, if iPhone has any deals on their phones for 300 or so, do you plan on getting one for the channel just to compare or use the features? No. Um, cause you're gonna pay $300 for an iPhone 8 Plus if you get it in new condition, unlocked, still, which is ridiculous. Um, if I could get like an iPhone 11 or 12, and if they had like now I know Boost Mobile had a thing where if you brought your number over and showed some kind of ID verification, which is stupid. I mean, only for the iPhone do they require ID verification and a port over online. $50 for the iPhone 11, which ain't bad. But that's still like 4 years old. Already 4 years old. So I just don't. I mean, iPhones don't lose their value because there's no competition with iPhone when it comes to other phones using iOS. I mean, Apple has one phone running iOS. You got Android running 10,000 phones. Um, that's why you can give them such crazy deals. And I just don't like iPhone. I just do not like an iPhone. I do not like an iPhone. I can use one. I just don't like them. I mean, if I get if I could get one for a really good deal, brand new, I would try. I would try. But I am definitely not gonna make any promises on that. Agreed, Mr. Carroll. Where the whole eSIM garbage, everybody was hating the new iPhones. Everybody, I mean, the new iPhone was it 14. Whenever the majority of the world got the SIM card slot, and the U.S. is the only one that didn't. They were all eSIM. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's at the beginning. Oh, it's no problem, no problem." Blah, blah. It didn't take long for people to be like, "I am not dealing with this eSIM crap. Give me an iPhone 13 Pro Max or iPhone 13 Pro. Give me my SIM card back." I think taking away features that does not need to be taken away, like a SIM card slot, is the dumbest thing that a company could do. And honestly, the day I stop upgrading to a certain phone will be the day when I go eSIM only. Um, like I got the 22 Ultra. If they said from 24 Ultra on is eSIM only, I would never have nothing past an S23 Ultra. No, I wouldn't. I would not buy any. I wouldn't buy anymore because I change phones so often, and it's a lot more difficult. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a lot more difficult with an eSIM, but it is more. I mean, I would rather just take a SIM card, a little SIM tool, pop it in my phone, pop the SIM card out, pop it in another phone, done. That's to deal with eSIM crap. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just making an entire phone with eSIM only is one of the dumbest things and dumbest moves that Apple could have done. Because people didn't mind at the beginning, but I heard a lot of, especially a lot of YouTubers, was like, I can't deal with this crap, and I don't blame them. I think it was a dumb move, especially when the rest of the world got a SIM card slot. As far as I know, the Galaxy A53 5G has an SD card slot. Yeah, the A53. If you want performance, don't buy an A53 or an A54. Um, A53 and the A54 runs a pretty horrible Exynos processor. Um, the phones are fantastic. Now, like I said, if you haven't been getting notifications of my videos, which I don't think that the majority that are watching are getting notified whenever I put out new videos, um, I done okay, I'm cramping up now. My freaking leg is cramping up. Uh, Sitting here in I got to get more comfortable. I don't care. I don't really care right now. I just want to get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Um, so of course I dropped something, and it just kind of falls into the unknown. And yeah. Um, let's see. Where was I going with this? Let's try to take this down a notch here. Be very careful with this thing because it's about half broken. What's up, Vincent D? So, the A54. Now I feel like I'm sitting too low. I really need a good place to stream. Like my car, you know, was a good place to stream. And I'm trying, and it may look like I'm struggling to move around, but I'm not. It's just that my dog is like refusing to get out of my way, laying right here beside me and refusing to move. So yeah. Anyway, let's just get this here fixed back up here. Also, my throat's beginning to get pretty scratchy. So just give me a moment here, and we'll get back to it. All right, we're good to roll now for the 30 minutes. Um, the A54 5G. I had that phone, and I love that phone. If you watch my video on it, just go back and just check it out. If you haven't seen the A54 follow up video, just go check it out. Um, you know, they made the phone so good, but if they would have just put like a 778 Snapdragon in there, or like a Snapdragon 6 Gen, or a 7 Gen 1, or whatever, it'd have been a lot better than the crappy Exynos they put in there. If y'all hear a lot of fan noise, let me know. I'll turn the fan back down. It's just getting. I don't know why the air ain't running right now. Let me just. Okay, well. That's also one of the things about live streaming is it's all unedited. you can't you can't pause and redo this, redo that because you got to get situated. You have to change positions because if you don't, uh, eventually you're gonna cramp up. I mean, once you have your leg up underneath you for so long, it's gonna cramp up, and I'm telling you, it gets very uncomfortable. No, it's kind of temperatures down, and I'll turn them down. I don't care. I'm the only one here. Screw it. So anyway, that turns back down now because the air's coming back on. Okay, Vincent D with the $5 donation. Shout out to Vincent D. Says glad to see you live. Always love your live streams. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the donation. They're always welcome. They're not mandatory by any means, cause I have fun doing this. But they believe me, if you see my revenue right now, it's very well appreciated. um, so thank you very very much. Um, so yeah, the A53 has a. I mean, you watch the majority of YouTubers who had the A53. I never owned it, so I can't. And I am a firm believer that if I don't own a phone and I don't touch a phone, I am not going to go to other YouTubers and then come back and say what this YouTuber said or that YouTuber said because that's just what they said. Okay, anybody can say anything. That goes for me as well. I could tell you anything when it comes to a phone. See, that's why people like on Team Pixel, are always accused of being biased, and there may be some that are that way, and it makes everybody sound like that they're so biased because they got to free this or free that. Like I said, that may be the case with some, but with me, most of y'all have known me and been on my channel for years and know I'm gonna give it to you straight when it comes to any phone, whether it's sent to me for free or whether I pay for it out of my own pocket. But um, I can't ever give my opinion like the Pixel Fold. I didn't get the Pixel Fold. I guess I wasn't cool enough to get the Pixel Fold. um, I've heard a lot about it, and I made a video about how stupid the controversy was because of a bend test, but I wasn't really remarking on the phone itself. Um, so unless I use a phone, I don't like to give my opinions on it. But I know that like the A53 was, of course, just about like the A54. And I know how the A54 runs with a supposedly more powerful processor, and it's even laggy and choppy under moderate usage. And everybody was like the A53 was just a very good phone with a very bad processor. It's kind of the A54. A54, excellent phone, fantastic phone, but the processor was the biggest downfall. Let's see where I leave off at. Um, you switched your A53 for a Pixel 6a. That was a good switch. That was a very good switch. In my opinion, most phones look alike. They do, unless you want a Pixel. And I don't have any Pixels in here right now. All my Pixels are in yonder, except for the one I'm on right now, which is the Pixel 4a. You can tell a Pixel from a mile away because of the now. Though some doesn't like that whole, um, um, visor. What is it? Visor camera bar on the back. I love it because it sets it apart from the majority of phones. And you always know when someone's using a Pixel. Like I was watching TV the other day, a Netflix show or something, and I'm seeing a lot more pixels in TV shows and movies now than I used to ever see. I'm liking that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Pixel fan. Are pixels perfect? No. Oh God, no. There's one feature that Pixel phones, or what Google needs to fix on Pixel phones, and that's gonna. I'll probably do that in a separate video. But Pixel phones, I think people whine and complain about them a little too much because of this, that, or the other stuff that really ain't that important. I'm a simple. I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm a simple guy. Okay, I don't let little nitpicky things like the phone getting a little bit warm warrant me to say and to go on and to go on and on about the phone getting hot. I ain't that person. Because all phones get hot if you push it hard enough. I don't care what phone it is. You push it hard enough, it's going to get hot. Now, if a phone gets hot just sitting there, there's a problem, okay? And there's been some people with Pixels that had that problem, and it needs to be fixed. Um, but there is one area in a Pixel that really needs to be addressed, and it's something that's never really hit on anymore when it comes to phones. But that video's coming. And also, if y'all want to be notified of all my, because like I say, this it's no wonder my view counts are so low. Is because it's, I mean, whenever I look at my analytics, 50% of my views are from Google search or YouTube search. Less than 2% is notifications. Um, my click through rate is like not even 10%. I mean, it's just bad. I mean, that's why I'm like my YouTube channel is done. I'm about ready to close up shop because I mean the views are just. I mean, if the analytics were correct and 2,000 people would get notified, that's what I should be getting, close to that on most videos that I make. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you look at other channels. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all know that's kind of we all know that. You know. But anyway, I talked about that earlier. So on to something else. But check the bell. Make sure the bell's turned on. And there may be, and if you're using an iPhone, you may have to cut on notifications from YouTube on your iPhone. So yeah. Um, in my opinion, see, my step uncle has the A51 5G and it's like 3 years old. Yeah, I had the A50. I liked the A50. I did. It wasn't a powerhouse, but it was a good phone. I liked the A50. But the A51 I never used. What's up, eTube? What's up, RJ? Am I late? I've been on for an hour and a half. Um, but I'm not much of in any hurry right now. So until everybody just gets tired of seeing me talk or whatever, then I'll be here for a little bit. So Ricky Miller Yella, yeah, on and off, on and off. Can't get wrong with the Pixel phone. Yeah, Pixel phones are fantastic. I love the call screening feature. I hate that they changed it. They did change the call screen feature to where it's like a minimum, moderate, maximum, and you can't really go in there and turn this off and this on, that off and this on. It's like it's a set thing now. I don't like the way that they changed that. I wish they would have left it alone. But it's still a really good feature to have. The voice to text is the best, the best you'll ever find on a smartphone. I mean, they have the best point and shoot cameras of any phone. I don't care what anybody says. That's just my personal opinion. Um, of course, I said point and shoot. Just taking the phone out, pow, point and shoot. But you can go in there and do a lot of editing to other with Samsungs and Apple iPhones, stuff like that, or whatever. But just a simple point and shoot, boom, it's hard to beat a Pixel. I like the now I will say this here: if I do get behind in comments, I read them all in line. So don't go nowhere. Hang around. Stick around, cause I don't answer your question just that fast. Don't leave, cause I answer every question that comes in. Um, I order them in the order they come in. So yeah. Um, well, where did I leave off? I like the Note 20 Ultra for the big screen, 6.9, but it's 3 years old. I don't know if I should buy or not. Don't know if you should buy what or not. I'm looking back and see if maybe you told that I just forgot. Because I'm telling you, my mind not so good. What phone are you looking to at Unique? What phone are you looking at? I didn't have too bad a performance on the A53 5G, even with battery saver on, only with more than 3 apps running at once. See, yeah, if they would have put a higher end Snapdragon, like I said, like a 765, even a 765G on like the Pixel 5, you could run multiple apps with no problem. Okay, um, the A53, uh, the performance just wasn't there. And at 450 for the price tag, it should have done better than that. Um, let's see. It was hard to choose between the A54 and the Pixel 6a, but I got the 6a for 199. In my opinion, like I said, the A54 overall is a boss phone. The 6A does have better cameras. The 6A does have better performance. The display on the A54 is better. This is a toss up. You know what I'm saying? It's a toss up. I've done speak test comparisons with A54 and the Pixel 6A, the Pixel 7A. Um, you know, I, you know, and I done the 6A versus 7A. And the 6A outperformed the 7A with the Tensor Gen 1 to Tensor Gen 2. But like I say, it's just opening up apps side by side, okay? And I always say in those videos, these are not scientific. These are just tests I run for fun, just to see which app opens first. Because it's not scientific. Benchmark tests are not scientific. Now, 3D Mark is the 3D Mark test that I run is like the gaming performance. It does seem to be a little bit more reliable on how things is going to react, but it still ain't going to be 100%. So I run those speed tests for fun. But the 6A outperformed the 7A, and the 6A outperformed the A54 by a long shot. Um, with the Pixel 7 Pro, have you had any freezing or overheating problems? Like I say, when a phone gets warm, it don't bother me. You gotta look at the Pixel 7A. When you have like a flagship Samsung, a flagship Samsung, they have one major core. Okay, with Pixel, you have two major cores. The more you have running, the hotter it's going to get. Okay, I have had the 7A get warm, but it's not been to the point to where it's like burning your hand off or able to bake bread on it. And I'm the kind of person to where unless the phone just gets so smoldering hot that you feel like it's going to just combust in your hand, I don't nitpick about a phone getting warm because I can take my A54, all my Pixels, my OnePlus, my Samsung phones, do the same things with them, and they all going to get warm. They're going to all get warm. If I was to do a YouTube video in 4K 60, do one on the Samsung, one on the OnePlus, one on the Pixel, by the time I'm done with that video, they're all three hot. You know what I'm saying? In a controlled temperatured room. A lot of people want to take a Pixel, they want to put it in their windshield mount on a 100-degree day, turn on GPS, turn on this, turn on that, and want to record video, and the phone shuts off in 2 minutes. Well, it's going to. Most phones are going to. you know, it's gonna overheat the phone. See, that's why I laugh at a lot of these videos who talk about, well, I had my phone outside at 90 or 100 degrees, and I could only record for 2 or 3 minutes before the phone says overheating. Well, of course it's going to overheat. You got the outside temperature plus the humidity plus the dew points. Then you have a phone that's got, you got a phone that is this thin. Look how thin these phones are, okay? And look what they're packing. Look what these phones are packing internally. Don't tell me you're going to have a phone this thin and something's not going to get hot. Whenever you have very little space between the CPU and all that kind of stuff and something this thin, the heat has to go somewhere. They're all going to get hot. And that's kind of where I'm like, this is so hard to listen to when it comes to some other creators because they nitpick everything, and I'm thinking we never really nitpicked this stuff before, but it's like now, it's like if something gets a little bit this or a little bit that, it won't. People run it in the ground, and I'm thinking, let it go. You know, just let it ride. Just if you don't like it, return the thing. That's why I tell everybody. I'm like, if they ask me about a Pixel or a Samsung, I'm like, I can give you my opinion all day long. I can give you my opinion, tell you that I love it, that I hate it, that it's a take it or leave it. But I'm like, I could tell you all day long that the Pixel 7 Pro is going to work perfectly for you. But I can't tell you that. I can't tell anybody that any phone is going to work perfect for them. Because I mean, take this phone. This has probably been one of the best phones I've bought because there's been times I've needed that S Pen to sign documents where I would have had to otherwise printed it out out of a printer, you know, to sign a document and have to get and put it in an envelope, drive to a post office, send stuff back off. And this phone right here, having its S Pen and its the Samsung documents and all that stuff, I'm able to just within a minute sign something, send it back in, boom, I'm done. Best investment right here. This Galaxy S Note. I call it a Galaxy Snote. You know, because it's the best of the both worlds between the S series and a Note series. So, yeah, I have the Samsung Galaxy Snote S22. That made no sense. Overlooked that because that made no sense. But S22 Note, okay, basically what this phone is. Um, yeah, I say stupid things sometimes like that. Just ignore me. Um, but this phone is not going to be needed by everybody. Everybody ain't going to need to spend $1,200 on a phone whenever all the features that they use on a phone can be used on a phone that costs 300, a quarter of the price of this phone. So I tell people, I'm like, if you buy the phone, keep your receipt, keep it in good condition, use it for, if you got 14 days, 30-day return period, use it for yourself, see how you like it. If you love it, keep it. If you don't, you can return the thing. Just don't buy from Best Buy because they charge you a restocking fee, which is ridiculous. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm like, always keep your receipt because, you know, the best person that's going to be able to tell what they need in a phone is someone who actually uses their phone themselves. And any YouTuber can tell anybody anything. Because what I might like, you may not like. What you may like, I may not like. Because everybody's different and everybody has their own wants and needs in a phone. So I'm like, hey, instead of you going to 20 different YouTubers, trying to, justify buying it or justify not buying it, if you're on the fence about it, hey, if you can afford to buy it and you want to buy it, just buy it and try it out. If you like it, you've already got it. If you don't, take it back. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so moving on from that, does the N30 feel that much bigger than the N20? I never used the N20. I had the N10 and the N30. I never used the N20. Now the N20 I wanted to always get, but I just never got. To best of my knowledge, the N20 had a smaller display, and I like the fact that I think that it had more of a frosted back instead of a glossy glass chromatic color and texture, whatever. I like the flatness of the N20, but since I never it ran the 695 processor as well, but I think it had less RAM. It had 6 gigs of RAM instead of 8 gigabytes of RAM. So basically, when you buy an N20 or an N30, you're buying the same phone. You're just going to be getting less RAM in the N20. You won't get as many updates. My N10 went to Android version 11. It never went any further than that. That's also something that's not important to me is OS updates. Everybody's like, we want 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 20 years of OS updates when most people don't keep their phones past 2 or 3 years. Most, and not all, but most. Um, Especially the ones that you hear complaining about OS updates the most is the ones that update their phone every year or two. I'm like, why are you complaining that a Pixel only offers 3 years of updates if you're going to be planning on buying the next iteration of Pixel, or at least maybe skip the 8 and buy the 9? You know, it's going to be updated until the 10. You know, to me, what's more important is security patches. Now, the Nord N10 is up to like July security patch, I do believe, while the N30 is on June, I think. Um, it'll get no, it's on May. I think it's on May. Yeah, it's on May, and I think that it's close. It's still on Android version 11, which is fine with me because honestly, Android 11, Android 12, Android 13, you really didn't get much more in those iterations of Android. You really didn't. From Android 9 to Android 10, you got dark mode, which was huge. Okay. From Android 10 to Android 11, they gave you a native screen recorder and maybe a few other things. Android 11 to Android 12, they screwed up bad with Android 12 on most phones. They a lot of it was fixed. Android 13 fixed a lot of that mess that they'd done with Android version 12. So Android 12 was just a disaster, and then Android 13 kind of fixed all of that. Because I get comments all the time, "Oh, it's on Android 11. I wouldn't have it," and I'm thinking it's going to support the same apps for at least another 3 or 4 or 5 years. But if you look at, but like I say, the most important thing is security patches. OS updates, that's not a big thing. That's not a big deal in my personal opinion because OS updates, well, yeah, it's cool to go from Android 12 to 13 or 13 to 14 or whatever, but it's something that you really don't have to have because I mean, they're not giving you the same amount of innovation they used to give you back in the earlier days of Android. They're just not. Security patches are what's important. And when you're getting 5 years, of security patches, the majority of people is not keeping their phones that long anymore. They're just not, especially when you have the carrier incentive deals and the trade-in deals and all this stuff that's going on with these phones nowadays. Most are upgrading within a couple of years. Oh, you like that traffic light the Galaxy phones have? Yeah, I mean that's not a bad look either. I mean, to me now iPhone is the most bland looking thing on the market because for the past 4 years their phones have looked identical. Apple really needs to do something different with their phones because I'm telling you, I mean, they are just screwing their customers. Apple is screwing their customers upside one down the other, especially whenever especially whenever they gave the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus the same processor as the Pro and Pro Max of last year. That's sad. And they thought that getting a iPhone 14 Plus that offered a 60 hertz display, last year's processor, and nothing any newer, and charged $900 for it, and they thought they was getting a good deal. I could not help but to laugh at that because I'm like, everybody complained about the Pixel 6a for 449 with the 60 hertz display, okay, with a Tensor Gen 1 chip. Oh, it should have been 349. It should have been this, that, and the other. But then Apple comes out with the iPhone 14 Plus with the previous processor from the last year with the same 60 hertz display and charging double the money that the Pixel was charging, and it was accepted. It was given a pass, and I thought, oh my God, do they really have? Oh my goodness! I mean, tell me what y'all think. Do you think that really makes sense? Yeah. I also like the camera bar that the S10 and Pixel 6 have. Yeah, I liked when I had the Pixel 7a in that beautiful Carolina blue unofficial color. That's just, I'm sorry, the color should have been Carolina blue. That's the color blue it is. Okay, Tar Heel blue. If my friend's still in here, he'll love that. We're rivals between Duke and Carolina. Tar Heels all the way. Anyway, Duke sucks. They really do. Oh my But anyway, beside the point. I love how they made the camera bar have that kind of bluish tint along with the frame. I like personally I like the 6 and 6 Pro camera bar a little bit better because I like the solid black look. You know, as opposed to how they kind of changed the camera visor or the camera bar with the 7 and 7 Pro. Now, I love my lemongrass Pixel 7. I know some can't stand that lemongrass Pixel 7 color. I love it. I don't know why, but I love that color. But I really wanted the Hazel Pixel 7 Pro. Oh, that was just a beautiful phone. But I didn't get that one. Anyway, um, um, I have it. I have it in a red leather case, so it really don't matter no way. Uh, I'm just interested to see, how long they're going to keep this design in the Pixel. Anyway, let's just kind of move on from all of that. Joseph says, I don't get notified about your videos anymore very much at all, but I've been subscribed for a long time. Yeah, I have been told that by numerous people that they're not getting jack squat when I release anything. And it's pissing me off, especially whenever I speak to a representative at YouTube. They're like, oh, we don't see no problems with your channel. I'm like, well, these are the same people who, copyrights channels for no reason. These are the same ones that have no idea how to run their platform. So you can't really expect a whole lot from YouTube anyway, from what I've seen lately. Um, but honestly, what I would do is maybe unsubscribe and then resubscribe and repress the bell. That might help. And I see I got 20 watching. Awesome. It took an hour and 51 minutes, but hey, 20 watching. Thanks to everyone in here. I can't see the like. 22 likes. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. So yeah. I would hate to see you go away from YouTube. I understand why you would be frustrated. Yeah, I don't want to leave doing this. I like doing what I do. I just okay. I think I had a. Are we back? Let me know. Let me know if we back. Okay, we back. We back. Somebody must have been reporting my channel or something. I don't know. That can also be a factor. Somebody could just not like me at all, whatever, because I'm honest and I kind of am controversial in my videos sometimes, and I say what I want, and I'm very forward about my videos and what I see in my videos. People don't like that. I ran a poll in my community post a while back, and basically to sum it up, it was like, would you rather see? Actually, let me find. I gotta find this for y'all. Um, because I found it kind of hilarious, honestly. When I seen it. Let me see. How do I get to it? Dadgummit, man. Give me just a second. Don't go nowhere, nobody. Don't go nowhere. I'm still here. I'm just doing some checking. Um, so I done a post a while back. Okay. Uh, I said I'm a real talk kind of guy. I tell it straight, and that sometimes means saying things in my videos that some softies may say is uncalled for. I don't believe in sugarcoating, but let me know what y'all think. So here's the poll. When it comes to videos, do you like it straight up, no BS? That means saying things that some may say is rude or uncalled for, or do you want it watered down, politically correct, and sugarcoated? I'm interested in seeing the numbers. Also, leave your comments down below. If you agree with the first option, I'm really going to need your support. 96% said they wanted real talk, no BS, and sometimes uncalled for. uncalled for things that sometimes people are afraid to say in their videos. 96% out of 89 votes, but there was 4% that wanted it watered down, sugar coated, and politically correct. I'm like, are you serious right now? I'm like, why would anybody want a watered down, sugar coated review on a phone? I found that so funny. Whenever 4% actually, I don't know who the 4% is. Y'all maybe it may be somebody here in this live stream. I don't know. Um, am I laughing at if am I laughing at it? Yeah, because I think it's hilarious. The 4% wants it watered down and sugar coated instead of a real, honest, sometimes uncalled for review. You know what I'm saying? But hey, to each their own, I guess. If you want it watered down, whatever. I gotta find my comments because it kind of threw me off a while ago. Whenever the thing just stopped working, I missed a comment or two. Um, Michael West says, "What do you think of the new Moto Razor? I want one. I want one, but I can't pay it. But $1,000 is a lot of money. A lot of money." Mr. Carolware said, "I just want better phone. Hopefully, 8 gigs of RAM has less lag than 4 gigs." Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm sorry I missed those comments a minute ago. Um, so anyway, back to the comment I gotta find. Been subscribed since 2017. Thank you for being subscribed for what's that, 6 years now? Do I still collect firearms? It's been a long time. I haven't bought nothing like that in a while. What are top 5 Android phones you recommend of any price range? OnePlus 11, Galaxy S22 Ultra or 23 Ultra, um, Pixel, Pixel 7 Pro or Pixel 7. Um, if you like small compact phones, the Asus Zenfone 9, one of the best choices you can make. It's very small, very compact, 5.9-inch display, but I'm telling you, it's a beast. Um, I mean, I don't have every phone that comes out, so I can't really say 100%, top 5 phones. But I would say OnePlus 11 because this is a monster. Okay, S22 Ultra or 23 Ultra, both of them are great phones. Um, like I said, a Pixel 7, 7 Pro, they're still really good phones. 7A is a really good phone. Um, I can't speak on the foldable phones because I've never used one. Um, also, like I said, if you want a compact phone, definitely the Asus Zenfone 9. Now it works on. I got it working on AT&T through Boost Mobile, but I'm not sure if AT&T or Cricket would take it because, like I said earlier, they're dictators over there, so they may not allow it on their network. They should, but I can't say that they will. But it also works on T-Mobile as well, and it's just a fantastic phone. The fifth phone, God, it could be anything. Let me think about it a little bit. Let's see, where was I at here? Uh, oh, you was in downtown GSO3. I hear ya. I hear ya. Nice. 3 weeks ago, huh? 6.4 versus 6.7. Yeah. I mean, it just depends on if you want a bigger display or a smaller display. I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference between the Nord N20 and the Nord N30. Basically, probably updates. You're going to get more updates on the N30 than you are probably the N20. But it just automatically, it all depends on what you want. I can't really say either way. Since I never owned the N20 personally, I can't put it side by side to the N30. So, yeah. What's up, Bobby Warren? I agree. Security, yeah, they are very important. I wish Samsung would make a mini tablet. They do, don't they? I wish the 6A wasn't only 60 hertz refresh, but I can't really tell too much. Just let they chop that. Well, I've also made videos about that as well. You know, everybody, everybody thought that 449 was so high for the 6A with 60 hertz and no wireless charging. Well, everybody wanted the 90 hertz and they wanted wireless charging. Well, they came out with a 7A for 500, and then everybody complained about that because they went up in price, saying, "Oh, it should have been three this or 350 or whatever." No, it shouldn't. Not whenever going back to 2019 when the Pixel 3a XL came out with a 670 Snapdragon processor was 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage for 479. I mean $20 less than the 7A, and look what the 7A gets you compared to a phone that came out 4 years ago, being a 3A XL. 60 hertz on the Pixel, and this is coming from somebody who uses 120 every day. And if I use the Moto Edge Plus, 144 hertz refresh. 60 hertz don't bother me none. It just don't bother. Now, if the phone like on the A54, they better be glad they put the 120 hertz in the A54 because the way that phone runs, if they'd put 60 in it, it would have been bad with a because even at 120, it's a little choppy at times. So if it had put 60 in the A54 from Samsung, then yeah, that would have been bad. But the Pixel, the 6A, it's always running pretty smooth. So yeah, um, the Moto 2022 that you reviewed on your channel, would that work on my carrier SafeLink Wireless? I can't say for sure. Now the Moto Edge Plus 2022 from Boost Mobile is locked to Boost Mobile. So it probably will not work on SafeLink because it is deadlocked into Boost Mobile for 1 year, which I think is stupid to have their phones locked down for. I talked to a Boost representative a while back, and I was like, "You charged me for this phone this much money. I pay you off. I've been with you for nearly a year. The SIM card's not been in the phone for nearly a year. I've not had the phone that long. I'm like, I'm not going to leave the carrier. I just want my phone unlocked." And I'm like, I think that whenever you buy a phone and you buy it straight out, I don't care if the phone is $800 and they got it on sale for $299 or $199. If they want to sell it to you for that price and you pay $200 for it, and if they send that phone to you, that phone belongs to you. That phone should be unlocked. It's my personal opinion. Give me a second. I have to send this text message out here. I'll have to keep an eye on this. So I'll be here. I've got to keep an eye on this. Um, What's up, B Tech? I'm actually live. Yeah, man. Yeah. Do you get my videos when they come through? Should I switch to the A54 if I got the A50, if I have the A53? It's up to you. I mean, I can't say yes or no since I never owned the A53. Um, from what I hear, the performance on both of them is. I own the 54, and the performance is good for basic use. If you just, if you want a phone like the A54 and you want to use it for just light social media, light gaming, just light usage, you're not going to have a lick of issue with the phone. Okay? It's going to work perfectly fine without any problems. But whenever you really want to push that phone any at all, you're going to have problems. So I can't say either way. Thank you, Gene, for saying it's a great stream. I really appreciate it. And 199 from B Tech. Thank you for that donation. Says glad to see you live. Hope all is good. Things could be better, but it's going okay. What's up, Javon Sims? How's it going? Okay, he says yeah, you're okay. You're good. Yeah, 18 likes now. Thank you. Yes, I'm still alive. Lego Man says sup. What's up? James Edward, thank you for that donation. Just saw you, RJ. Hope you're doing okay and having a good day. Heard a noise outside. Hope you're having a good day as well. And thank you for that donation. So shout out to you there, James Edward. Also, Vincent D. This is another one. Thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that tons. It means a lot. Shout out to you. Lego Man says you're just speaking your mind. You just have different opinions on than what they think. Yeah, exactly. And whenever I give my opinions, I try to look at it as price point. You know, that's where it all boils down to is price point. There's so many people that wants to take an S23 Ultra and compare it to a phone like this. You can't do that. It's impossible because it's not on the same. I mean, the phone's a quarter of the price, and you know, I'm also just a simple. I'm just what you call a simple guy. Okay, I really don't. I don't nitpick a lot of things that a lot of other creators. And I'm not bashing anybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing anybody. It just irks me whenever it's like it's just someone will harp on something about this phone, but another phone that they really are in with can have the same problem, but it's kind of like under the rug. You know, that irks me. And I think if you're going to give a review, it should be an honest review. Um, oh crap. Super chat train whoop whoop. Yeah. Watching on the A54. The A54 is a really good phone. It just can't handle much in the way of multi, like, you know, um, whatchamacallit, um, it can't handle a whole lot in heavy performance. Using it as a basic phone, using it as GPS, using it for social media, it's going to do just fine. But if you really want to push it, you're going to see where it really begins to suffer. But the A54, the screen is beautiful, the design is awesome, the stereo speakers sound good, the cameras are good. The phone is just overall a good phone. Um, I appreciate your honesty. Hey, that's what I always want to have on my channel. Virgin ears, yeah. If you're meaning about the 4% wanting watered down, sugar coated stuff, yeah, exactly. They can't handle the truth, you know. I need to get my hands on that OnePlus Nord N30. Yeah, the N30 is a good phone. Now, if I was to put it up against the OnePlus 11, there's the competition. I mean, but it ain't supposed to be. Okay, this phone. That's why this phone is more than double the money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be foolish. Now I could sit here and say I'm gonna do a speed test comparison between the OnePlus 11 and the Nord N30, but it would all be just for fun because if I open up the YouTube app, Instagram app, guess what? This phone is going to open it a tenth of a second slower than this phone. Okay, maybe a quarter of a second slow. I mean, just barely. Okay, just by opening apps. Benchmarks is going to be a different ball game. Okay, you're going to have it's going to be like double the multi-core here than here, and all that stuff. Gaming is going to be like 3600 on this one right here for gaming score. This is going to get like 400. Okay, it's going to demolish this phone. But if I wanted to run it for fun, be like, oh that Nord N30 ain't much slower than that OnePlus 11. Oh yeah, it is. But its price point is 300. Or if you get it through Metro for $20 versus the phone that costs 700, I mean, my OnePlus 11 has 16 gigabytes of RAM with 12 gigs of virtual RAM. That's 28 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I'm not sure if that virtual RAM does any good or not. I've not seen. I mean, I turn that on, I turn it off. I don't see no difference. I don't. But the internal RAM is 16 gigs. It's running the 8 Gen 2 processor. It's a beast. You know what I'm saying? Um, so let's see. Which Team Pixel sent me the Fold and the 7A? Team Pixel has been sending out folds very sporadically. I think they have been, but I guess we're not cool enough. I don't know. uh, what's up, Art Dog? How's it going? Good to see you. No, not really doing speaker reviews because honestly, it's really hard to do speaker reviews because you're definitely not gonna get a true sound whenever you're trying to play through a microphone on a smartphone. And I run my whole channel from a smartphone. You know, so I don't think that doing speaker reviews on my channel would actually be a good thing because it's not going to give you the honest sound. So no, I really haven't thought about doing that. Which one would you get, Moto Edge Plus 2022 or A54 5G? Moto Edge Plus all day, every day, all day long, no questions asked. Go ahead and pass go, collect $200, whatever. Moto Edge Plus 2022 all day long over A54. That Moto Edge, I'm not a Moto fan. I don't like Moto phones. But that Edge Plus 2022, I think it runs the 8 plus Gen, uh, Snapdragon 8 plus Gen, 8 plus 1, 8 Gen, what the crap is it called? Snapdragon 8 plus Gen 1, I think. 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the one I got 512 gigabytes of storage. It's going to dominate the A54 5G. Dominates it. Okay. Dominates it. 100% dominates it. Best Buy has the N30 $499. Got to get a line though. Yeah. See, that's how Best Buy gets you. It's like this phone here for 149, but then it says with activation. And if you look at beside it without activation, it's like $300. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you teasing me like that. You see, you teasing me. Um, Mr. I swear I think I'm going to get your name wrong every time I say it. Mr. Jomi. I'm sorry if I get your name wrong. Ugh, but one of my longest subscribers right there. I think you subscribed in 2011 or 2012. I believe the notifications are turned on, so it tells me when you're live. You're probably one of the few that gets notified then. Um, Javon says, I was wondering if I could put the Nord N30 on T-Mobile Connect prepaid because at 149 can't beat the price. Well, is that what they're selling it for at T-Mobile 149? Because I know that if you buy it at Metro on a new line for $20 and they put it on a line, I don't think that you could put a T-Mobile SIM card in it or a Metro SIM card. Yeah, T-Mobile SIM card in it. I gotta kind of pull this back. I gotta hear my surround. I'm hearing noises. I'm hearing. I gotta make. This thing right here isolates pretty much everything around me. And now that I kind of pull back this earpiece, I can hear everything's echoing. So anyway, um, what issues does it have? What issue does it have with overheating? So that's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, if it's slap burning your hands off, turning your hands a tomato color, and it's about to combust in your hand, then I'd say you got a problem. But I mean, or if your phone is just sitting somewhere and it's just getting hot and you're not even using the phone, then there's a problem there. But if you're using the phone, I mean, even some of my, even my high end Galaxy phone gets hot, just barely using it sometimes. OnePlus 11 sometimes gets hot for no reason sometimes. All phones are going to get hot. Like I said, whenever you have all this power in a phone this thin, that heat has to go somewhere. And in any YouTuber, anybody says that they can do all this stuff with their phone and it never gets hot, I had to call bull. I'm sorry. I had to call bull. Art Dog with a donation. Shout out to Art Dog. Thank you so much for that. It really helps out tremendously. Thank you so much. What's up, Kenneth Marlin? How's it going? Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's not super smooth, but still a good phone for photos and videos. Processor sucks. And what? And what? B Tech? What phone are you talking about? And Art Dog says for the calls with another donation. So shout out again to Art Dog. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that 100%. Can't understand why the 7A overheats. Google needs to get on that. I do agree that, which I mean, if they are using two main, I ain't got a pixel in it. I can't look at it myself. But like with my 22 Ultra, the OnePlus 11, the main core is just one core. Pixels use two cores. They use their main core, like their 2.8 gigahertz or three, whatever it is, and then they use their Titan chip or whatever. They're using two main cores, so it's going to overheat more than just a phone running one main core. That's where you're gonna have some overheating. But I mean, if you're just watching YouTube and it's overheating, yeah, they need to get on that. To the top, yeah, yeah, to the top subscribed channel. Sadly, yeah. Well, no, nah, I don't think
even to the top. I mean, I'll hit you up, man. Um, you don't do straight talk anymore? No, no, I don't really. I don't really do anything. I mean, see, here it is. There's phones that I buy to keep, some I buy to sell. If I get a request, I got a request to do a review on a phone that I have no intentions of buying, but it was being requested a few times. I had no intentions of buying it, but I bought it. That phone will be returned. I have no shame in that. I return certain phones for certain reasons. Sometimes it's a phone. If I buy it because I like but it's underwhelming, I return it. That's what a return policy is for. If I get a lot or if I get several requests to do a phone review, I will buy it, but I won't keep it. You know, and I'm only buying it because somebody's asking me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Some phones I do sell. I've sold several phones. Um, and with Straight Talk, since I don't use Straight Talk and their phones are locked, I have no use for them. So any Straight Talk phone that I buy has to be returned because I have no use for it. And I'm just not somebody who wants to do. I mean, I used to be really bad about that a long time ago, buying all these phones and returning all these phones, and I just didn't like doing that. If I'm being honest, and that's that's why I really don't want, because they really ain't putting out any phones really like they used to. It's really popular and really popping off right now. And another thing is having to return every one of their phones because I have no use for them. And you can't just keep phones that you don't. This is going to be sitting in there collecting dust. If you go to try to sell it, you're not going to be able to sell it for new because you've unboxed it, you done used it, so you're not going to get nowhere near the money for it. So your best bet is just to get the return. And that's something right there that I just don't want to. I don't want to do. T-Mobile let me use whatever plan I wanted at Best Buy for my OnePlus 11 and Google Pixel 6a. Both phones were unlocked after I paid my first month. T-Mobile only, I think. Oh, okay. Okay, this one right here is held for review from eTube. So I have a YouTube channel. If you are in gaming, videos that I know you're in gaming, RJ, my channel name is eTube 2022. Okay. Okay, I'll show that. I'll show that there because it was hidden. So okay, okay. So it said another moderator handled this. Um, but it don't tell me. I'm trying to show it, but it won't let me. Why do people in U.S. gravitate to Apple so much? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't see where the attraction is. You can't even multi-screen. You can't even split screen on iPhones, and they've been out since 2007. You can't even put an app where you want it on an iPhone. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Are you that much of it? Are you? I'm just gonna say it. There's only one word I can say about this here. Are you that dictatorial in in your phone so locked down that you literally, like if you had like a 5 rows on a screen and you wanted an app row here, an app row here, and you wanted a space in the middle with nothing, and then an app row here, you can't do that. I mean, they won't even let you put the apps where you want them. I mean, you would think from 2007 until 2023 that you would actually be able to put the apps where you freaking want them on an app page, but they still won't let you do that. That's stupid, in my opinion. I mean, why? Why won't they let you? I mean, something as simple as that. You can't split screen. You can't do that kind of stuff with Apple. I don't know where the attraction is. I guess it's the blue bubbles. Mm. So I know people right now in my family that's like, oh, we gotta have iPhones because we gotta have FaceTime. I'm like, do you know how many video chatting services there are out there? You got Zoom. You have Google this. I mean, you have Google Meet. You have all of these. You have, and then they work great. I've been on business calls on Meet, and it was clear as a bell. It was so simple to do. I don't see what the attraction with Apple is. I'm sorry, I just don't. I've never really been a fan of Apple products. Probably never will be. That might rub some the wrong way, but that's just the truth to me. But if people are really in the Apple ecosystem with the Apple watches and the phones and the tablets, and hey, use whatever you want to use. I'm just going to give my opinion when I'm asked. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all it is my opinion. I mean, I think it's kind of crazy that they won't let you put the apps where you want to put them, and people get so upset whenever they see a green bubble instead of a blue bubble, and whenever they try to get somebody in their family to spend $1,000 on an iPhone for FaceTime. I'm like, all they got to do is just download one app, and one can have Android, one can have Apple, and they can still video chat without, it. I'm like, but we live in a world of laziness. See, this is where that poll came in. Where I want to say things that some not going to like and others are afraid to say. We are in a world of laziness where it's like they'd rather somebody would rather you go out here and spend $1,000 on an iPhone that you really don't want because your kid wants you to get it, or because your parent wants you to get it, or whatever the case may be. You got to spend all this money for an iPhone that you really don't want, whenever there's like other phones that you rather have, because somebody else is just too lazy to download an app like Google Meet or Zoom or something like that. And I'm thinking, are people really that lazy to where it's just, instead of, that they, I mean, really? I mean, oh god. Mm. I've called Google no help. My Pixel 7 Pro would freeze when I use Google Maps. See, I use Waze. I don't never use Google Maps. I always use Waze. My Galaxy S22 Plus gets warm occasionally, especially when I'm in the sun, 90 degrees weather in Georgia. Yeah, like I say, I've seen a lot of videos where people have their phone in their car when it's 90 degrees outside, and they have their phone in a windshield mount or in like a console or whatever, and they got the maps on, they got Spotify on, or they got this on and that on, and their phone goes into overheating. I'm like, what do you think it's going to do? Um, any phone's going to do that. iPhone's going to do it. Samsung's, Pixels, OnePlus, they're all going to overheat. I mean, especially if you're, I mean, especially if you got your, if you, I mean, especially if you put your phone in a windshield mount where that sun is reflecting on that sucker. I don't care if you got that your AC in your car down to 60 degrees in there. That sun's still baking on the back of that phone, and then you got all those apps running like GPS and stuff like that, and I mean, it's going to heat up and it's going to shut off. Or it's like, you go outside at 90 or 100 degrees recording to 4K 60, and it records for 2 or 3 minutes and says overheating, camera cutting off, or the phone shuts off. Well, it's going to. And that's any phone, because it's just to protect the phone. My Galaxy S22 Pro, yeah, I seen that. Does the S22 Ultra have a stylus? Absolutely. S22 Ultra has a stylus right there. Well, you can't see it, but it's right there. Built into the phone. I'm telling you. Love the 22 Ultra, man. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you this, okay? Anyone that tells you that you have to get an S23 Ultra because the S22 Ultra was trash, now if you don't have a 22 Ultra already and you want to upgrade, then yeah, you might as well go and get the best, get the latest and greatest. But now I think that a lot of times people will get a phone. Now this is just my personal opinion. You can agree with it, disagree with it, whatever. Some people will get a phone. Like this phone has the 8 Gen 1, the 23 has the 8 Gen 2. Some will say their battery was horrible, they didn't last half a day, and blah, blah, blah. I have no problem getting a full day on my 22 Ultra, even if I'm working on it. Okay? Does it get hot? Yes, it gets hot. Does it bother me? Not really. Why? It's in a case. I don't really feel that heat as much. I've heard so much ragging. Now, when the S22 Ultra came out, it was the best phone since sliced bread. But as soon as the 23, but then it wasn't long before it was like, well, it has heating problems. Mine don't have a heating problem. Does it get warm? Yeah, but I'm recording at 4K 60. I'm using Power Director to edit videos. I'm, it's going to get warm. Does it get warm for no reason? No. Does battery life die? Well, if you're recording in 4K 60 and you're editing videos, of course it's going to die quick. If I use it as a normal phone, I can get a day, day and a half with this S22 Ultra. Like I said, a lot of it's nitpick stuff, and but then again, a lot of it could be because maybe their phone's a little defective. See, that's something also that you gotta look into. Is sometimes you can have a defective phone, and that's what's so bad about it. Because maybe you don't even know it's defective. I know that I've had phones before that I have completely ragged and just completely called it junk and just ragged the crap out of it, and then realize afterwards, oops, there was a defect in that phone. You know, um, but I'm not gonna get up on all of that because I feel most phones that I've had will sometimes act strange on different sites. I feel the Apple thing is either a status thing or easier of a use thing. Could be possible. What's up, Serrano? Serrano, what's up, man? How's it going? Apple makes the worst phones ever. I wouldn't say they make the worst phones ever. Now Apple can optimize their phones to, I mean, really run smooth for a long time. They have really good cameras. As far as video, it's hard to beat their video on their phones. A lot of times they can make good phones. I just think that they're just way too locked down, and you don't have nowhere near the freedom like you do on Android. You know, um, they lock their phones down so much to where, like I said, you can't even move your icons where you want them. You know, if you was to want to put this app down here in the corner, well, as soon as you let it go, whoop, back up here it goes again. You know what I'm saying? You can't move. I mean, that's just kind of it's crazy. Why do you use Waze over Google? I don't know. I always like Waze. I downloaded it once. I started using it, and sometimes you can use. Sometimes it allows you to use like different like people as giving you directions and stuff like that. It has a lot of cool features Now, one thing that I don't like about Waze is when I went to the dentist and I was in a completely different area, I didn't know where I was going. So I put the address into the dentist office and I was going straight for it. But I didn't know if it was on the left or if it was on the right. And Waze didn't tell me. It didn't say your destination is on the left or on the right. It didn't tell me nothing. It just said you have arrived at your destination. And I was in the middle of the freaking road, and I was like, it didn't tell me to turn left. It just left me to just kind of wonder. And I was on a busy road, so I had to go down the road, make a U-turn, and try to get back out into traffic or whatever to find out where I was at. That's the only thing about it I don't like is it is not it is sometimes it will tell you if it's on the left or the right, but sometimes it's just like you have reached your destination, and I'm like I have. Well, I'm still driving. You didn't tell me to turn left, you know. But I do like Waze. It's never gave me any problems. Other than that, uh, Art does. I'm gonna give Waves a try. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. iPhones are the worst compared after like a year or so. They have terrible battery life compared to Android phones, and compared to Android phones, there are way more destroyed iPhones. They're junk. Well, to me, I believe the best iPhone battery was, I believe that most would agree, was the iPhone 13 Pro Max. They put up the top dog Android phones next to an iPhone 13 Pro Max, and the 13 Pro Max just demolished every Android phone on battery life. But I've not heard that but on one phone from Apple, and that was the 13 Pro Max. Um, I hear that the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max with the new chip, has been kind of a disaster. I can't say for sure. Never used it, like I said, but that's what I've heard. Been using my iPhone 13 Pro for almost 2 years. You love it, yeah. I'm hearing a lot of people say they're getting rid of their 14 Pro Max or 14 Pro and going back to their 13 Pro Max or 13 Pro because the battery and the performance was so much better than this year's model or the iPhone 14 models. Well, see, that's the thing, B Tech. That's one thing that Apple has got down pat is their optimization is just really good. You know, you can take an iPhone from 3 or 4 years ago, and it's going to hang with the newer flagship Android phones, and where it takes 16 gigabytes of RAM in an Android phone, it's gonna it's gonna be on par with an Apple iPhone with 6 gigabytes of RAM. Because optimization, it's kind of like the old Windows phone. I love Windows OS. I wish that Windows would have made it. I mean, Microsoft. How in the world they cannot get app support is beyond me. Okay, I would have used Windows Phone, Windows OS over Android or Apple any day. I love Windows OS, but they were kind of like Apple was. You needed back whenever Windows was was a little bit popular. That's back whenever Android phones had like 2 gigabytes of RAM. The high end phones had like 3 gigabytes of RAM. But you could take a Windows phone from Nokia or Microsoft with 512 megabytes of RAM, and it performed better than an Android phone with 3 times the RAM. I wish that Windows OS would have made it. I really do, because that's what I would probably be using today. Jesse says, I never liked iPhone. I used to repair phone, and I've used so many phones over the years. And iPhone has such terrible batteries, and it felt like you only had sneeze and screen would break. Yeah, batteries never. I mean, especially a lot of the older iPhones, batteries has never been their strong suit, and I blame a lot of that on Apple themselves. I believe that after so many years, or after a few years, I believe they intentionally kill batteries with updates. Um, I seen it happen, with some of my older. I mean, I have old iPhones. I got an iPhone SE, first generation, an iPhone 6S, an iPhone 7, and I remember, at one point my iPhone 7. I mean, my capacity on battery is still in the 90% range, but it went from getting good battery life to after certain updates, the battery just was crap. So I believe that Apple kind of tempers with some things and updates sometimes with older iPhones to make the batteries junk to where you either got to get them replaced or just go the easy way out and buy a new iPhone. Vincent, he says I'm a Samsung Knight. Like I said, the S22 Ultra, best purchase I ever made, and I'm not even a Samsung fan. I'm really not. I'm not really that much of a Samsung fan, but I ain't got to be a Samsung fan to like a phone and know when a phone is excellent. And that's how I feel about the Galaxy S22, 23, is that they are the boss. Okay, I mean they do everything. The S Pen, when you use it, I mean it's just wonderful to have. And the phone runs so good, and it just does everything almost perfect. But there's other Samsung phones I'm like, yeah, your iPhone, your battery on the 13 Pro isn't the greatest. I heard that the iPhone 13 Pro Max was like a battery champion. I don't know what it was about the Max, but that's just what I've seen a lot of tests on. But I just use it over Android. LOL. I love Android. Yeah, the iPhone 6s is probably going to be a smoother than an Android phone from 2023. I can't. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I turned on my iPhone 6s the other day, actually, for the first time in a while, and then all the kind of updates it needed and all. And boy, I was like, this thing. I mean, that phone came out in what, like 2013? Something like that. So, yeah, definitely, the 6S is not going to be able to handle um, some of these newer phones. Now some of these newer phones with these little cheap junk processors, maybe so, but let's just kind of adjust this a little bit here. All right, here we go. Let's see. With iPhone, it's so locked down till you jailbreak it, and even then, it's still not great. I know nothing about jailbreaking an iPhone or none of that kind of stuff. I have no clue. If I had to choose Android, if I had to choose Android devices, it would be Pixel devices. All yeah, Pixel, Google. I mean, uh, Google is the punching bag. Okay, everybody loves to pick on Pixel because LG's gone. Okay, whenever LG was part of the scene, LG was the punching bag. Everybody loved to, trash LG for everything they tried to do. Any kind of innovation that they tried to do, it was always, trashed and everything else. But then whenever LG left, guess who picked up the mantle as the punching bag? The Pixel. Any little thing. If the monthly update does not come at midnight on the first Monday of the first week of the first day of the month or whatever, everybody gets all up in arms about it. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, let's look at this a little bit logically. would you rather, if they happen to, okay, let's just say in August, let's just say, the first Monday, comes around and the update don't come out for the August security patch. Is that such a big deal? No. Because what if there's something in that update that they found before they released it that could have gave it really bad problems? I would rather wait a week to get the update and get it and have a good update than get it a week early, get it on time, and something be wrong with it. Because guess what? They release the update on time. If there's a known problem with it and it causes problems, they're going to get smashed. If they wait a week to release the update to fix it, they're going to get smashed. So it's danged if you do, danged if you don't. Google knows that by now. So, and people are like, well, Samsung's getting updates faster than Pixel nowadays. No, not really. I mean, maybe some instances I've got updates faster on my OnePlus than I have Samsung or Pixel at times. It was near the end of June before my 22 Ultra even got the June update. And my A54, the supposed to get updates just about as fast. It was stuck on May in July, I think, and it just finally got the update. So, like I say, it's like it's kind of like that commercial. What was that commercial? I can't remember now. Anyway, it's unimportant. But it's like everybody's so accustomed to wanting it now, 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 and if there's a problem with it or not, give it to us now. But I'd rather wait. You know what I'm saying? And I will be honestly, I believe that the Google Tensor G3 is going to be the last Tensor chip that they use. Hopefully, um, they maybe use something better than, because I mean, since they are in development with Exynos, Samsung with the Tensor, I think they need to get away from that. Um, I think that's what a lot of problem is because the Pixel 5, all those, they get updates. I mean, pretty much on point. I mean, they never missed an update. But with Tensor, it was always late. There's always a problem with the update. They would release an update. It would cause phones to act up. They would get slammed for it. If they decided to hold off on the update for a week or two, they would get slammed for that as well. So it's kind of like, what are you going to do? You can't satisfy anybody anymore. So, yeah. Let's see, where was that at? But Samsung is slowly growing on me after having the A54. Yeah, the A54 was a good phone if only they would have put a better processor in it. I want to give Pixel another chance. I'm waiting for the 8 to come out. I was not happy with the 7 Pro. I had no problem with the 7 Pro. I thought the 7 Pro was a really. Now, I personally like the 7 better than the 7 Pro. You know, it was so hilarious whenever I picked the 7. It's like one of my top phones at the end of 2022. I got comments was like, "Oh, this sounds like a commercial, probably getting paid off and all that kind of crap." Now, yeah, I did get the Pixel 7 Pro from Team Pixel, but I bought the 7 my own self, and you know, so I say it goes back to those who were. I mean, I believe that those on Team Pixel are the ones that are slammed the hardest. They don't look at the big YouTubers with 5, 10, 15 million subscribers who have their hands in Samsung's pockets or whatever. Because they're always honest and true, and they never tell a lie, and they're always just they can't But if you say anything good about a Pixel phone, oh, you're just biased. They're telling you what to say and everything else, or whatever. And I just sit back and laugh at those comments because to me they're just stupid. Now I'm sure there probably are some that will, you know, even if there is a problem with it, they'll just sit there and push it off like it's nothing just because they want to, just because they really want to just keep Google happy. But hey, if there's a problem with something, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna tell you if there's a problem. If I don't really see it as a problem, I ain't gonna mention it. You know what I'm saying? That's just me though, because I don't nitpick every little thing. I think Samsung may do it to my mom's J5. Wow, she used it for 3 years, and the battery would only last like half hour. Yeah, yeah. See, I had a Galaxy S7, and now the Galaxy S7 was supposed to, the last update was supposed to be, I think, 7.1.1. No more updates. And whenever the Galaxy S7 was on 7.1.1, the battery was good, the phone performed flawlessly, the phone was just a really good phone. But Samsung decided to give it Android 8. And when they give the S7 Android 8, it completely ruined the phone. The battery life, the phone would get so hot you'd think that the glass was going to shatter. The battery lasted, I mean, you could give it 100% charge, turn the phone on, and by the time the phone actually started being able to scroll, because it was just sit there and be frozen for like 5 minutes. If you once you was hang on. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, um, you could update like 25 apps, and the battery would go from 100% down to like 70%, and the phone would get so hot you literally couldn't touch it. You'd think that the battery that it was going to explode in your hand. But before Android 8, it just ran flawlessly. So I believe they done that intentionally to make you upgrade. Um, Alan567 says, "I see you leaning in the chill on the cell phone rap line. It's good to see you back." Yeah, I'm just chilling. I, I'm trying to get relaxed. I've been doing this for 2 hours and 52 minutes, and I'm propped up. I got a little thing over here. I'm propped up, relaxed, and I'm just leaning back, just chilling. So, uh, the only thing right now that's kind of bothering me is my throat's beginning to give out. But hey, it's all good. Um, I should do a comparison on what? Who should do it? Who should do a comparison? If I can get an update every 2 or 3 months, I'm good. Every month is nothing to complain about. Is nothing to complain. Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. And honestly, I could give a crap less about monthly updates. I think that an update should come through whenever they find a problem. Like, forget about a set schedule up like Pixel. Forget about the set schedule monthly update. Okay, if you are on the June security patch and it's running good, if you go into July, the update's still good, leave it alone. But if in let's just say in the middle of July, there needs to be like an important like an important update. Don't wait until August to give the update. Push out an update right then if it's going to help fix whatever problem there is. You know, kind of like Apple. I mean, Apple. That's one thing I will give Apple. If there's a problem, Apple pushes out an update pretty quick, along with Samsung. Samsung's kind of the same way. Sometimes you'll get an update just because there's something that needs to be fixed. You know, but it's like it ain't that way with Pixel. You know, or Google. or whatever. I keep on saying Pixel, but Pixel is just the name of the Google. Anyway, I'm still using a Xiaomi Poco X3 NFC about for 229 New Zealand dollars, around 200 USD, and that's the thing. So many phones you can get from Poco, Xiaomi, Realme, the Xiaomi Redmi division. All these phones, there's so many phones. Like I have the Xiaomi Mi 11T 5G. That phone costs like less than $300, I believe it was. It runs the Dimensity 1200, which is a pretty solid, powerful processor. Solid cameras. I mean, it does. I mean, that phone would outperform the majority of phones that I have that are under a certain price point, and it is super cheap. The only problem is they don't have all the LTE bands in the US like you find on a Pixel or a Samsung. Um, and of course 5G, which who cares about 5G? Seriously. I'd rather be on LTE anyway because most phones nowadays are set primarily to 5G and it's overcrowded, so usually you can get faster speeds on LTE than you will 5G. Um, and that phone is still getting updates. That phone's been out for several years now, and that phone costs a few $100s. And that phone is premium, a premium phone, and does really things better than phones that cost double the price that are here in the U.S. That's like, well, I would never own that phone because it's that and the other. Well, you're missing out on some really good phones because some of them are really good phones. Um, and I'm gonna go ahead and just hit this while I'm here. I might as well. A lot of people don't now. A lot of people don't want. No, there is some phones that are made in China that I would not trust. Some of these name brands I would not trust to put my information in, stuff like that, whatever. Xiaomi being one of the biggest, yeah, no problems there. You got Realme, also really good. You got Poco, all these really good, all these really good phones. I wouldn't have one of those phones because they're made in China. Well, so is your iPhone. So is your Pixel. All these phones are made in China. I don't care if they're designed in the U.S. or not. Your iPhone can say designed in California or designed in whatever, but it's made in China. The reason why, and I know that because when I got my iPhone SC second generation, it was shipped to me straight from China. And if you don't think they can put stuff in them phones, if they're making them, putting them together and assembling them or whatever they're doing over there in China, if they're going over there, and you don't think that, and if you don't think that they can't slip something in them phones, come on. I'm just saying. A lot of Samsung phones, some of them are made in Vietnam, some are made in China. Now I'm hearing that they are going to be making their phones somewhere else starting soon. I think I'm not really sure. Um, but yeah, a lot of your phones are they're all made in the same place basically. And yeah, it may not be like a Chinese company like Xiaomi that's Chinese designed, made, and everything else. But these companies like Apple and Google and all, they're shipping these phones over to be made over there, and and people are so worried about Xiaomi and all these other ones or whatever. Well, maybe I'm wrong in this. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe they do things differently. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I just know whenever I look at the back of the box of an iPhone, it says made in China. It says designed in somewhere, made in China. So if you're worried about Chinese phones, some of them, yeah, you probably got to worry about. But the top ones, the top, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about. Um, Especially about the global version. Now, I wouldn't buy the international version. Not buy the global version if you can get a global version. Um, um, OnePlus same way. Motorola. Everybody's like, oh, I'd never buy a Xiaomi phone. Would you buy a Motorola phone? Oh, I love Motorola. I buy Motorola anytime. Well, Motorola ain't Motorola no more. Motorola is made by Lenovo, which is a Chinese company. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, I'd buy Motorola. Yeah, Motorola. Yeah. Well, they're not Motorola. They're not the Motorola that you had in 2000 and 90 and or back in the 90s. Okay, Motorola is now made by Lenovo, which is a Chinese company. So it's no different than buying a Xiaomi. I mean, really. Uh, I'm like, do your research. Um, the S7 was such a disappointment. I like the S7, honestly. Now the S6 I didn't like. S6 had no SD card. It had a very, very poor battery. The S7, they brought the SD card slot back. It had a better battery. I love the S7. I love the design. Could you imagine an S7? Could you imagine if Samsung would do something this cool? If Samsung would get rid of those real thick bezels on top of the bottom of the S7 and made it like almost a full screen with an in-display fingerprint scanner, but had it the same size as an S7, but put the S23 internals in it and had a compact S7. There was like a S23 compact that was because it had like a 5.1 inch display. If they was to extend that screen out to fill out the bezel, you could make it go from like a 5.1, like a 5.9, or maybe even like a 6 inch display, and have it like the same form factor with, like I said, an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner or whatever, or something like that, and put maybe a different camera arrangement on the back of it. I think that would be boss. That's just my personal opinion. I think it would be boss. You got up for 2 weeks until back to Sprint. Sonic says, I still have a Alcatel Pop C3 with 4 gigabytes storage and 5 2 gigabytes of RAM with dual core CPU. I've installed a custom ROM on it, and I'm shocked at how well it performs. Wow. Wow. See, I don't know how all them custom ROMs and stuff. I have no idea how to do any of that stuff. Samsungs are made in Vietnam and South Korea. Okay, well, I know that, previous to I know that Samsung used to be made in China and Vietnam, but I know they said it's going to change that. Now I know whenever they had the explosive Note 7, they were they were from Vietnam, and everybody was really, really worried about that for a long time. But they really improved on that, apparently, but yeah, I think that's good. Um, what kind of dog do you have? I've seen him in the background of some of your streams. Well, she's also on my Instagram as well. But it's a Maltipoo. Vincent, this is, I don't know why, but I'm craving chocolate cake. Shay Kennedy says, I had the Moto G Stylus 5G20. I had that phone too. I sure really saw the phone. I got that phone through Metro for free. Um, and that's a solid phone. It works really good. The performance is really solid on it. Um, of course, I mean, to me, Motorola's weakest points of all their phones, regardless if it is $1,000 phone or $100 phone is their cameras. I believe their cameras is something, at least something to be desired. But as far as a phone and performance and how the screen is and everything, you know, they're really solid. Some of them are really solid, but they're not very consistent. Motorola's, you'll see some Motorola's that are cheaper that'll have stereo speakers. It'll have better this, have better this. But then you'll see phones that are more expensive with a mono speaker that has a lower screen ratio, like a lower screen resolution, or a lower this and lower that. I'm like, now why would a cheaper phone you give better this and that, but on a higher phone you give less than this and that? You know, it's Motorola. It's Motorola. I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, the G Stylus is pretty solid. Um, Go for a ride. How's it going? People are stupid like that. They don't know other brands use other. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like Polaroid RCA said, are not the same brand anymore. No, it's not. You know, it's not. Now my TV is a Philips. Okay, Philips was around in the '90s. They were really good back in the '90s. Now if you look around in Canada, UK, other places around the world, Philips TVs suck. But in the US, I think it's in the US only. Well, and also over in Japan, but in the US, they're made by a company called Funai, which is still a Japanese pretty good name brand, and they are solid TVs. I've had mine for 5 plus years, and that thing has just been. I mean, the colors are just. But you can go to Canada and get one, and it's made by some off the wall like freaking crappy Curtis International junk that does not last. Um, I pretty much like RCA is made like RCA is back in the 80s and the 90s. RCA was top dog in everything, top notch. But see, RCA now is made by Curtis International. Never, just don't. If you see any product that says Curtis International, just don't buy it. Wasting you might as well put your money down the toilet. Do you like bigger or smaller phones? It depends. You know, I like my ginormous Galaxy 22 Ultra, but I also love my little Asus Zenfone 9. You know, I mean, the Zenfone 9 fits inside of the 22 Ultra and has plenty of room to spare. And I like those little small phones because that little Zenfone 9 from Asus is it's a powerhouse running the 8 Plus Gen 1 processor with plenty of RAM, plenty of storage, really good cameras, very solid display. I mean, excellent. Some of the best speakers. I mean, bass heavy speakers, not distorting either. They things punch. And it's so good if you want to like do video and pictures and you don't want something ginormous holding a great big phone in your hand, but you want a nice little compact phone. So I think it just depends on, if I'm going somewhere and, you don't want to lug around a 6.8-inch phone and you want something that's going to be easy to carry, take a picture, take video with, that don't feel like a brick, then I like carrying a smaller phone. But it really all just depends. Now, oh wow, turn on power saver. I'm glad I got. Let's plug this thing in. This thing went dead pretty quick. Wow, this Pixel 6a just don't last. Don't tell me I unplugged. I didn't unplug it. No. There we go. This Pixel 4a was fully charged when I went live, and it's lasted 3 hours and it's dead. It said turn on extreme power saver mode. I'm glad I seen that because yeah. So I think it just all depends, you know. Like the Pixel 6a, 6.1 inch, but it's got a much bigger body to it. You know, the Zenfone 9 reminds me like of the Pixel 5. Um, so yeah, I think it just depends on the situation, basically. Sonic says it's funny some people really hate Samsung, but without Samsung you would not have your iPhone as Apple use some Samsung. The majority of everything uses some form of Samsung parts. I mean, from what I hear, the Pixel is 51% Samsung. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from what I hear, 51% of a Google Pixel is a Samsung. So, you know, I mean, you see Samsung displays, Samsung cameras, and a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, extreme battery depletion, and I got do not disturb turned on. I got it in airplane mode, and I got Wi-Fi turned on, and that's it. And this 4A, well, actually, I do have this headset plugged in, and I'm wondering if this thing does pull power. Because I have actually went live before from the 4A without a headset on, and it got a lot better battery. So I'm not sure if this headset being plugged in and powering the microphone and having the mute function on here as well kills the battery a lot faster or not. That could be a factor. But when it popped up extreme power saving mode after just 3 hours at 100%, kind of makes me think that it could be this headset is just sucking juice from, I don't know, from the 3.5 millimeter jack, because this is the actual functioning gaming headset, so that could be why. The 4A, because the 6A ain't got a headphone jack. I would use the 6A because it would be better quality, but the 6A has no headphone jack, and I'm using 3.5 millimeter. So yeah, I mean, it's just like OnePlus and everything else. They're not made in the U.S. And I use the OnePlus 11 as my main phone, and I love it. And the only thing I hate about it is if I wanted to upgrade to a new OnePlus, and since my glass on the back of the phone just spontaneously combusted and cracked, that's really gonna affect the trade-in value if I wanted to trade in for a OnePlus 12. Um, the front screen's not cracked, but the back is. So I don't know. I used to be a big fan of Huawei, and I wish they were still being able to be sold here in the U.S. I think it's bullcrap, honestly. The whole Huawei ban I think I think that's a bunch of crap. ZTE was also doing really good. Now ZTE, I know some hated them, some loved them. I love ZTE phones. Now ZTE was kind of like how Blue was. People will never ever in the world use a Blue phone because they used a Blue phone in 2015 from Walmart. They paid $40 for, and it was a piece of junk. And they said that they'd never use another Blue phone again. But you got phones like the Bold N2 that is made by Blue for $179 right now on Amazon, and you'd be very hard pressed to find a phone that costs nearly double the price that performs as good as that Bold N2. That Bold N2 is a boss of a phone. It's like 179, and the Bold N2 has fantastic cameras, a beautiful display. I think it uses a some kind of a Samsung AMOLED panel as well, if I ain't mistaken. Um, battery life is fantastic. Um, it's just I mean, it's got a single bottom firing speaker, which is the only downside to it. But you know, you got that you got that phone that just kind of goes under the radar because it's from a company that back in 2014, 2013, 2014, whatever, made junky, crappy phones that would just they didn't work with the flip. You know, people won't give them a chance now because of something like I said. I know people right now that had an LG flip phone in 2005 that sucked, was awful, and they swore off LG and said I'd never buy another LG phone again. And I'm thinking, you had one bad experience in 2005 with a flip phone from LG, but you won't buy, and they actually bought an LG G8 and loved it. And I'm thinking, see, I'm like, you had one bad experience in '05 with a flip phone from LG, and they're all bad now. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like ZTE. ZTE made some junky phones in its earlier days, but they really picked up, and they make some fantastic phones now. But you know, yeah, I don't know. I love my OnePlus 11. Glad to be back on a OnePlus phone. Yes, my OnePlus 11 is my daily. I mean, the only thing about it that I don't like is how the back of my phone, the back glass, just spontaneously cracked. I mean, it just spontaneously cracked. Have no idea. Had it for less than a week, and went to bed one night. It was not cracked. The next morning, you know, it was cracked, and I always take care of my stuff, and it was cracked, and I have dropped the phone 3 times since it's cracked. I ain't gonna lie. I've had it in this rugged shield case here, and this crack has not gotten any bigger at all. That's why I really think that it was just a piece of defective glass. But OnePlus could really. I heard it from there. I heard it from their own customer service mouths. They don't care about their customers. They didn't come right out and say it like that, but I could tell by their tone that they don't care about their customers. That's the only problem I have with OnePlus is they could care less about their customers. I mean, I push OnePlus so hard because I don't know when to quit. I'm the kind of person that I will bug them and bug and bug and bug and bug. Um, and I finally got them to admit that they really did not think it was my fault. I mean, they went from yes, it's your fault, it's your fault, his phone's in your position, it's your fault. That's all they could say was it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. And I just kept pushing the far out of them. I sent them pictures of it on how it was impossible to crack where it cracked. You know, without causing damage somewhere else. And they finally realized that they're like, yeah, this just doesn't look right. But they still would not do nothing about it. So I have a blue phone I bought for 14 USD, brand new off Amazon. 32 gigabyte storage, 2 gigabytes extra RAM, Android 11. When you factor in the price, it's a decent phone. Yeah, $14. I do worry about it cracking. Although I have the black Mac version, yeah, that one does seem to probably that one probably is a bit more sturdy. But I mean, this one just cracked, and I've seen forums about people's OnePlus 11s in the green just cracking for no reason. So, I made a video about it. I mean, I tagged so many people in that. Other people was retweeting it, tagging other people in it. I was tagging everybody in it. It never got any traction. I thought, yeah, that's about par for the course. You know, a small YouTuber, they never get the attention, which we all know that. A legitimate problem, not some little puny stuff that really don't matter, but a legitimate problem that others were having as well. And it was just, go on, you know, you're a small channel, go on, you know. Kind of the same way with the Pixel Watch, you know. I made a video about the Pixel Watch and what it done to my skin, how it literally scarred my skin. Um, and people turned it around like it was my fault. I'm like, right, you know. Call and there was other, like I said, I was looking up. I was like, is other people having this problem? And people were chiming in. Got the Google Pixel Watch. I was wearing it, every day, or I was wearing it a lot, and it just completely just burnt my skin up. So it was a known thing, and I made a video trying to share it everywhere, just so maybe if they make another Pixel Watch, they don't make it out of the same thing that people's allergic to. And people were ragging me, saying it was my fault. I'm like, what the crap, man? I'm like, yeah. I mean, you really have to be way up here for to get anything to get any traction. Because if you're way down here, people are just going to ignore you. What's up, Sean White? How's it going? Oh, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I've been on for 3 hours. Over 3 hours. Other people have shown similar phone cracks on the OnePlus 11. That makes exactly. It makes no sense. And like I say, I tried to. I mean, I reached out to to tech news outlets, and to other. I mean, even other major creators. But of course, it never got any traction. And I only done it because OnePlus. I even told OnePlus I was going to do it. I said, if you don't make this right, I said I will reach out to everyone. And they're like, we really don't care what you do. They're like, we don't care we don't care who you, whatever. And I thought, well, you might, but when I got thinking about it, after I mean, at least 25 people were tagged, and not one person picked up on it. Not one person even bothered with it. And I was thinking, yeah, that's par for the course. Uh, I'm wanting a phone with a 1 terabyte storage, 80,000 milliamp hour battery, 64 gigs of RAMs. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with that. Hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It could happen. Just got home from leaving the airport. Had a nice vacation in Florida. I hear you. I hear you. My God, I ain't been on vacation. It's been that long. Over a decade. It's been well over a decade since I've been on vacation. I can't afford to go on vacation. It's probably probably the last real vacation I took that lasted. There wasn't like a day trip. Probably the last real vacation I took was probably back in 2006, 2007, 2005, maybe something like that. Yeah, a real vacation. I mean, one that lasted 3, 4, 5 days. Probably 2007 was probably the last time I had an actual real vacation. We're gonna send you to the Bahamas. I hear you. I hear you. I would just love to go to CES. In Vegas. Um, I would love for a company to, pick up that tab. You know what I'm saying? That'd be awesome. Sean White, I actually did pick up a Moto G Play. I've had it for a couple of days. I haven't had a chance to do anything with it yet. I got it on sale. It's a fully unlocked model. Um, I know you requested it. I know several others have requested it as well. So I picked it up just to do a video on it, and everything. Um, but yeah, I did pick it up. I can't recall the last time I had a revocation either. Yeah, I went to the beach. I went down to South Carolina in 2007 or 2008. I know it was I know it was like towards the end of May, and it was like so freaking hot you couldn't breathe. And it was like a 4 or 5 day vacation. I was by myself, of course. That's the lonely life. Um, Vacation on your own. But you know, went on vacation. Said I think I got off work one day and said, you know what, going to the beach. See you in a week. And picked up and went. But that's the last time. That's the last time I think I've had a vacation. Now when I was engaged, I was always going on vacation. We was always me and my fiance was always going down to the beach for 4 or 5 days, or yeah, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 times a year. He was in downtown Greensboro because my son qualified for the World Ninja League Championship. Oh, cool. Okay. I've actually never heard that before, but that's what's up. That's what's up. No joke. I haven't been to the beach since I was a kid. Wow, really? Which I always vacation to Myrtle Beach, but from what I'm hearing now, it's like one of the worst places to go now. Back when I used to go, it was awesome when I used to go, because I was a lot younger, back then, and they had a lot more attractions. It was just a lot better. Now, somewhere I heard that you really don't want to visit anymore. Oh, okay, the Coliseum, yeah, been there many times, several times. Cheapest new Android right now? Great question. Well, I mean, I just unboxed that Yophone Note 16 Pro that I paid 118 for, but it's like 139 right now. And it's really not that bad of a phone. I mean, cameras ain't that great, of course, it's got 8 gigs of RAM, storage is 256. The build quality seems to be pretty good. Screen quality is really solid. I mean, you can get some good phones for cheap, you know? That's on my channel as well. There's a beach across the road from me, about 15-second walk from my house. Hear ya. Hear ya. This is I haven't been to the beach in a while. New Jersey, you have to pay to get on. Yeah, you got to pay to go to the beach. Seriously? Why? Why? Unfortunately, I will not be doing a Moto Razor review. Um, I would love to, but $1,000 is just out of the question. You have a TCL Smart TV 1080p. Yeah, I like TCL. I know their phone division is not doing a whole lot of nothing right now. To me, their last best phone they ever made was the TCL 20 Pro 5G. Their 30 series, their 40 series has been kind of, well, nothing to brag about. Um, their TVs, I had a 50 inch, I had a Class Series 4 50-inch 4K. It lasted less than a month. But I know BTEC, if he's still in here, which I'm not sure if he's still in here or not, but I think he had the same TV that I had. He's had his for, I guess he still got that TV. Had it for years and no problem. So I think when it comes to TVs, it's a gamble. It all to me. I think it all depends on how it's shipped, how it's handled. You know, because these TVs don't weigh nothing. Okay, they weigh 25 pounds. You know, they're super thin, and the screens are super fragile. And I think a lot of it is just it's just a gamble when you buy a TV, any TV. Because I bought an LG, as soon as I plugged it in, problem. Had to return it right away. Had a TCL, worked fine for about 3 weeks. Nothing but problems after that. Send it back. That's when I got my other one I've had for over 5 years now. Uh, is that Mellow Yellow in the cup? Actually, this right here is Mountain Dew in the cup. I don't have any Mellow Yellow right now. I'm cutting back a little bit on drinks as well. So, yeah, that's why there's not a lot in there. It's actually, I think, the first cup I've had all day, honestly. Um, yeah, it's expensive. I mean, I would love that new Moto, that new Moto Flip. Yeah, $1,000. Yeah. Yes, every town makes money off it. It's cheaper to go with a season pass. A season pass to access a beach. They should not charge you a dime to go to the beach. That's crazy. I mean, it's part of the country you live in. Look at all the other stupidity going on right now in America. I definitely gonna hit on that right now. Um, you should do a smartwatch review one day. I did a video on the Google Pixel Watch. I'm just not crazy about about smartwatches, honestly. Um, I did order a Galaxy Watch one time, but I kind of bought it at the spur of the moment without thinking about it, and I canceled it almost immediately after I ordered it because I was just like, do I even really wear a watch even to even justify paying? And whenever I thought about it for like 5 minutes, I was like, I really don't. Because I already had a Pixel Watch then, which I can't wear the Pixel Watch. I mean, my Pixel Watch in there ain't the best watch in the world, but it's still a good watch. But I can't wear it. I'm allergic to something. Whatever that little part on the bottom of it is, it burns my skin up. I can't wear it. So, it sucks. Um, Motorola G Play 23 109 at Best Buy right now. I got it at Target for 109. It's the state of New Jersey. They have been doing it for decades. That's ridiculous. For them to charge you to go to a beach that actually is part of your own country that should not charge you just to go down to the beach. That makes no sense. The 2023 Moto phones are actually better than they have been in years. The new G Power and 5G Stylus have good specs. I have the 2022 G Stylus. It's a good phone. To me, the Moto G Power 2020, I love that phone. I had that phone. I still got it. That phone, I love the Moto G Power 2020 that they made 3 years ago. The 2021 model, 2022 model, they backtracked. They went from like 1080p down to 720. Went from explosive dual speaker system to a mono sounding speaker. Lowered the quality of everything in those like 2 years. So hopefully they done something different in 2023. Uh, I have some Amazon gift cards. I won. I have no real use for. I think pick up the Yophone Note 16 Pro. Watch your review. Looks great for the price. It's not bad. I mean, it's not a powerhouse. It ain't gonna be nothing that's gonna be like Now, I have encountered a problem. I put in my Boost Mobile SIM card that works on AT&T. It worked. I had to manually put in the APN settings. Had service LTE. It's a LTE phone, no 5G, which who cares? It worked fine. Had service, couple bars of service. LTE popped up fine, no problem, doing good. I picked it up again, and the signal bar looked funny. The signal bar looked funny, and it says service unavailable. It was weird. It was showing everything, but it was just saying service not available. I put it in airplane mode. I restarted the phone, took the SIM card out, put it back in. It just would not work. I don't know if it was. I don't know what it was. I haven't tried it again since, but it worked fine. And then after a while, I looked at it again, and the signal there was nothing. The Wi-Fi was on, but the signal bar looked funny. It just looked weird. And then when I went to my SIM card, it was showing everything was connected, but it said unavailable. I don't know what happened. Beaches should be free 24 hours. Yeah, not in the communist state of New Jersey. Yeah, I feel Motorola has been slipping in their budget. Yeah, I do too. I mean, I got the Moto Edge Plus 2022 from Boost Mobile in an upgrade for a really good price, and that phone is probably one of the best Moto phones I've ever used. In my opinion, it's solid. It works great. I have absolutely no problems with it. It just worked like it's supposed to. I will be wrapping this up here soon. I got to get some things done, and I've been on here for a lot. I can't believe I've been on here for, well, I can't see how long, but right around 3 hours and 40 minutes. Wow. What's up, Paul Evers? They even charge you a tax when you move out of the state. It's called an exit tax. Are you serious? Hey, appreciate it. You love the headphones? Yeah, these things here are awesome. I love these things. These things sound phenomenal when you're gaming. Um, I'm doing fair. Right now, I'm getting a little sleepy. I don't know why, but Just I would hate to be on a live stream and fall asleep. That would suck. That would really, really suck. But I would. I could. I could sit right here like this right here for about 30 seconds and I'd be asleep. I'm not even lying to you. You're serious. It's called the New Jersey exit tax. Wow. I've never heard that before. That's just some craziness right there. This is the Razer Black Shark V2s. I got these here for $50 on Amazon. Had them on sale, like 50% off, something like that. And these are the special edition blue and yellow model um, that they had on sale. I do prefer wireless, but for wired, these do really well. And the reason why I don't like using wired that much on Xbox when I game on there is because their controller sucks so bad. The most wired headphones have an echo to them, but these don't. These don't, and HyperX's don't. Didn't you say once you did fall asleep live? Yeah, I did. I did. I fell asleep on a live stream a long time ago, years ago. It was, I think it was real late at night, and I ended up falling asleep during the live stream. Yeah, I've done it. I've done it once before, and I don't want to. I don't want to do that again. But I love how the stream picked up. Thank you all for the questions. I love answering the questions and just talking. And it's been a variety. It's not all been about technology, which is good. Sometimes it's good to talk about other things as well. Maybe I mean, like I say, everything ain't got to always be about technology. Sometimes it can be about other things as well. Um, like this whole beach, talking about the beach, stuff like that, and vacations and stuff. I mean, I find that entertaining as well to talk about. Um, thanks for all the donations to everyone who left super chats. That's right now that helps more than you'll ever know. But believe me, more than you'll ever know. Thanks for the. I can't see how many likes there is. Because I can't see nothing with my glasses off. Uh, I can't tell. I can't see. Um, 35 likes. So thank y'all for the 35 likes. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all were awesome. And so yeah, on that note, I want to try to do these more and more again. I know I've been saying that a few times. It's just sometimes it's really hard to find the right time to do these. Um, you said you remember once I went to sleep on live stream. You almost did it once when you was in your car. Yeah, I can fall asleep as fast as it was 5 seconds. I think 5 or 10 seconds I can be asleep if I'm tired enough. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna jump off here for now. Be sure. Like I said earlier, notifications for my videos just are not going out for some reason. So if you're subscribed, maybe you might want to unsubscribe and resubscribe and refresh that bell to receive notifications of all videos because I got I mean I have literally got comments before where it's like I make a video and release it, and I get a comment saying it's good to see you upload a video again. And I've been uploading for I've uploaded like 25 videos, and they never got a comment for not one of them. So um, I've contacted YouTube. It's like, oh, there's no problem here. Yeah, okay, something's going on. You know what I'm saying? So James Edwards says, hope to see you again live soon. Good to see you on here. Glad you're doing better. I wouldn't say I'm doing better, honestly. I still got a lot to work on. I'm still dealing with a lot of stuff right now, and I needed to do something. And I'm glad I was able to get on here and chat with all of y'all. Yeah, I had the bell on and was shocked how many videos you have done since I saw one 3 months ago. Exactly. You said you seen one 3 months ago, but haven't seen one since. So I mean, that's why it's like, I mean, and that hurts whenever your source of income is this right now, and people. YouTube is saying that like between 2,000 and 2,200 people has the bell pressed for notifications, and when I release a video, and and it gets around 200 views, and it just stops. And 60 of those views are from YouTube search or from Google search, and like 1% is notifications. I'm like, wow, you're saying 100% of notifications went out. YouTube is just, I don't believe it. So um, again, thank everyone for joining in. Again, thanks for the donations. They help more than you'll ever know. Um, Thanks for all for joining in and chatting with me tonight. I hope to be back on here again soon. I'm gonna do some. I got some follow ups I got to do on some phones as well. So stay tuned for all of those. Hopefully you get the notifications from those. Um, so yeah. Again, thank y'all for watching. I'm out of here for tonight. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all next time.